City of Crime.
Well, let's see if we get this going today. What's up? I hear StreamYard is having a problem, or YouTube, with the chatting. So I hope not. Welcome in. Thank you all so much. You know the drill. Come on in, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. Cool and Chris, you rock. You started us off with 6 Guilty of Crime memberships, 5 and 1. So thank you. Good to see you, DJ. How you doing? Number 13, James. Always a pleasure. Diamond Ring Girl, Tanya. Well, you know why my background looks like that today, don't you? Because today we're talking about former American Idol pastor Caleb Flynn, charged in his wife's deaths. Allegations, evidence, and rumors on the motive. This guy simply couldn't keep it in his pants. And I think his 15 minutes of fame on American Idol got to him, guys. This is brutal. So welcome in today. I'll let you guys come roll in and then we'll get started. I don't want to get started too soon because this is the first time that I'm covering this case. I'm sure there's going to be other coverage, and I can't take the Nancy Guthrie tracking down stuff because really there's not a lot new. I know there's a lot of activity at the Guthries, particularly Nancy's, and I know there's a lot behind the scenes they're not telling us. So maybe there'll be some breaking news tomorrow, but you got to remember Sebastian's 2-year missing. Sebastian Rogers went missing on the same day that Madeline Soto did. And there's a new interview out that we're going to go over with Katie Proudfoot, 2-year. You guys, I have something special for you, of course. So guys, we're also doing I guess we're not doing a cookie giveaway today. You took your cookie giveaway off. All right, well, we were going to do a cookie giveaway. I don't know exactly what happened. Synth was going to do that, but I think maybe she got caught up in doing something. I don't know. All right. So we're not doing that. Anyhow, come on in, guys. Good to see you. Let me say hello, and then we're just going to get started. I know that this is not the Guthrie case where there's 7,000 people, but this case is equally as important because this monster, Caleb Flynn, a pastor and former American Idol contestant, killed his wife while his kids were sleeping just doors down. Okay. And when you guys hear this, the 911 calls and the allegations of the affairs and just how pathetic Caleb Flynn really is, you guys will say, okay, this case is pretty important. We do need to know about it. The children are victims as well as his wife. May she rest in peace. All right. So, and before we jump in, there's so many things on this. There are a lot of 911 calls. He was just in he was in his arraignment. They got him in the arraignment crying. Now, he was supposed to be back in court tomorrow, but they pushed it out for an entire month. Now, he says on the 911 call, there's blood everywhere. And then he goes on to talk about how his wife was shot twice in the head. Now, if you don't know who his wife is, her name is Ashley Flynn. She's 37 years old. She was a substitute teacher at Tipp City schools in Ohio and a volleyball coach. She was also the mother of 2 young daughters and active in her community and church. And she was also there for Caleb way back 13 years ago when he tried out for American Idol. Now, on February 16, 2026, was less than 10 days ago in Tipp City, Ohio. Police officers responded shortly after 2:30 in the morning to a reported burglary. Now, this is a burglary staged as a burglary went wrong. That's what Caleb says. Inside, officers find Ashley dead in her bed for multiple gunshot wounds, and then they find 2 shell casings near the body. Now, I got to tell you guys something. There's no way. There's no possible way. I know that some of you guys are gun people. You guys are owners of guns. You've seen real life stuff. If you were to take a 9mm and shoot somebody twice in the head from even a range close or a little bit far, you still wouldn't be able to tell 911 that my wife has 2 gunshot wounds to the head. That's impossible. You can't see it. If I were to get shot in the head 2, 3 times or even 1, you wouldn't know it because a 9mm would make a hole and it would be gushing wherever it was coming from. And let alone to know that there was 2 gunshot wounds to the head. So police didn't buy this for long. And the 911 call is actually pretty embarrassing. The whole time the dispatcher is calling him a she. All right, good to see you guys. Come on in. Blackheart 67. What's up? Number 39. I hope we get some people in the house today because we want to gift memberships and books and all this stuff. So again, we just gifted 6 memberships. Thanks to Cool and Chris. And I'm going to try to connect with you guys in chat as much as I can. All right. If I miss something, I promise to come back to it. Okay. Because YouTube is actually having problems. And then you get that between StreamYard and that. And I am not ignoring you. And I assure you, if you super chat, super sticker, any of those things, it will come across and I will put them up. It just might be a little delayed. So guys, come on in, get comfortable, stay a while because this guy has got some giant charges and the rumors are flying. Let's get into it. All right, before I even do anything, I'm going to put you back. We're going to go in a time machine back to the Hollywood version of American Idol season 12. All right, let's go to the road to Hollywood real quick and take a look back, and then we'll get into everything else. This is Caleb Flynn, not only a pastor, but a wannabe singer.
My name is Caleb Flynn. I'm from Tipp City, Ohio. I auditioned because I'm sure everybody says it, but music is all I know. It's what I live to do, and I love to sing, so that's why I auditioned. Maybe my wife kind of nudged me a little bit too. My first thought when I got my golden ticket, honestly, all I could do was cover my face because I cried a little bit. I'm kind of a crybaby. I get it from my mom and my dad. But it was honestly just pure joy, excitement. I tried out for American Idol 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't make it. And so to get this was all the more sweeter and all the more meaningful. So it was awesome. The person that inspires me to be an informer, I guess, would say the Lord. I'm a music pastor, and so that's my job every week is to go up there and to sing and to connect what I do on stage to the congregation. So first and foremost, obviously, is the Lord. Thing that makes me unique.
First and foremost is the Lord. I want you to understand today that this guy that prays to the Lord and obviously hides behind the Bible like so many is about to be in another interview real soon. Way different. All right. You don't pray to God and go to church and sing in the choir and then kill people, have affairs, do nefarious things, and do that to your children. Take the mother of your children away from them. You don't do that. All right. So this is season 12 American Idol 13 years ago.
You know, I absolutely love the Lord. I love my wife more than anything. She is very, very pretty. Just, oof, I love her. But, you know, I'm just a normal person who absolutely loves to sing more than anything in the world. And I think I have a different sound in my voice. I have something to offer. My favorite past Idol contestant would probably be Carrie Underwood. She's just absolutely incredible. Love her attitude and just her passion for what she does. And I promise you, if my wife dyed her hair blonde, she would look just like her. I'm the next American Idol because, you know, I can honestly say one thing about me is I love to learn. And so if I hear something that I can do differently or do something that make myself better, I'm going to do everything I can to do it. And so if the judges tell me this is what's going to help, I'm going to do it. And I work harder than anybody I know. And so when I want something, I'm going to go after it.
And boy, is he not lying when he says when he wants something, he's going to go after it. That I'm going to have to agree with him. Now, what does he want? Well, we're going to see what he wants. We're going to see what he gets. We're going to see what he wants. We're going to see what he does. We're going to see how he moves. All right. This guy, his Caleb Flynn, where did it go? That I have an article for you that I want to share. Let me put this back up for a second. Okay, it was Scallywag Bond. Okay, so what he wants. He wants to go after what he wants. Let's take a look at this and then I'll read the article to you of what happened and what he really wants. Okay, there's blood everywhere. American Idol, Caleb Flynn arrested for wife's murder. Let's see how he went from that to this.
I love to sing, so that's why I auditioned. Maybe my wife kind of nudged me a little bit too.
A former American Idol contestant has been charged in the murder of his wife. Caleb Flynn was arrested on February 19th, 4 days after police found his wife, Ashley Flynn, shot dead in their Tipp City, Ohio home. Per a police press release, Caleb is facing 1 count of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence, to which he pleaded not guilty during his arraignment on February 20th. On February 16th, officers were dispatched to the couple's home in response to a report of a burglary. Caleb allegedly said during a 911 recording obtained by TMZ, "Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife."
Now listen, we're going to listen to the 911 call uninterrupted. We're also going to see this guy crying during the arraignment, not for his children, not for his wife that had supported him for 13 years, but for himself and allegedly the affair that he was having with a 23-year-old. That's apparently what he wanted to be and wanted to do.
"My wife, she's got 2 shots to her head, and there's blood everywhere." Ashley was pronounced dead at the scene. Caleb is now being held in Miami County Jail with his bond set at $2 million. His attorney tells Oxygen.com that he's looking forward to clearing his name, saying, "We are both disappointed and concerned about the short timeline and seeming rush to judgment in this case. When the government runs out of leads or can't develop leads and looks to a surviving spouse in cases such as these, the chance of a wrongful conviction increases." Back in 2013, Caleb auditioned for American Idol and spoke about his wife.
Now, mind you, the shallowness and the depth that he has on there about she's pretty. And then he talks about, well, if she dyed her hair blonde, she'd look like this other person, right? And wait till we get into it. We haven't even started. This is disgusting, but we haven't even started. Just imagine 2 little children sleeping in the other room while you take your 9mm that you're supposed to be protecting your family with, and you shoot your wife twice in the head. And even worse, you tell 911 just that. And you're going to hear, this 911 call is why people that commit crimes don't call 911. Foxy, thank you so much for the Guilty of Crime 420 membership.
Of my wife more than anything. She is very, very pretty. Just, oof, I love her.
All right, so let's see what he loved about his wife. And I cannot see your comment now that we're going, since so you got to run your own thing, girl. I don't know. I can't see what you're putting. I can't pin it anymore. All right, so listen. This is what I'm speculating because, well, we don't have a motive. As a matter of fact, law enforcement didn't arrest anyone initially. They thought that there was a robbery and a break-in, and that there was a accidental wife, Ashley, being murdered by an outside intruder. All right. But Caleb Flynn was having an extramarital affair when he shot his wife, Ashley. And what's so alarming was a text message early that morning at 5 a.m. that said something like, "It's almost done." Really eerie. And you guys will see when we get into it. Now, there are some pictures of her, and I found more. I don't want people going and attacking her. She's very easy. This person is 23 years old and very easy to find on social media. Was Caleb Flynn, it says Finn, having an affair with Aaliyah Botner, Tipp City, Ohio woman? Now, social media points to alleged leaked documents showing that leading up to his wife, Ashley Flynn's murder, there were heavy communication texts taking place between the American Idol, former American Idol, and a mystery woman that is named here. Now, like I told you, her name is Aaliyah Botner, and she's not hard to find. Okay. Now, unconfirmed reports are rampant on social media. This happened in Tipp City, Ohio on February 16th. And this husband and father of two says may have shot his wife of 16 years together, shot her dead as a result of an ongoing extramarital affair he was allegedly having between him and the family's church. Okay. So this guy was together with his wife 16 years and he gets some new booty, and there he goes. Again, these are just, in my opinion, and all rumors and speculation until verified otherwise. Good to see everybody. What's up, Pink Stars? What's the motive? That's the motive. Before I had this little piece of evidence, we didn't know what the motive was. It certainly wasn't money. All right, that's for sure. He was with his wife for 16 years. Yeah, some young booty. There's your motive right there. Some young booty, somebody adoring him, and oh, you're so great. And we know when we're in a marriage for a long time, you got to work at making your spouse feel special, and you're not going to wake up every day and be like, "Oh, I have hearts and sparkles." It doesn't work that way. But in Caleb's world, it did. So you ask what the motive is? I'm going to tell you the motive is young booty. And there's a lot of Ohio true crime for sure. All right, this guy's not going to know what to do with himself. Now, listen, Caleb Flynn, 39 years old, on Thursday, this is last Thursday, was arrested and charged with the slaying of Ashley Flynn, his wife, after previously stating that a home invasion led the Christian mom of two to be fatally shot at the woman's husband while the two kids slept. Now, I got to tell you something else. Even worse than that is they speculate that he used chloroform. You know what chloroform is? The stuff you put on a rag and you knock people out. They speculate that this monster, Caleb, used chloroform to make his children sleep through this. Now, I assure you, I have a 9mm or 10. I have a 9mm or 2 or 3 or 4, a revolver. I assure you, if I shot a 9mm twice at anything in this house, you're going to hear it. Now, this guy didn't have a silencer, and his children were right there. Rumor has it that he may have used chloroform to keep them asleep. Okay, again, that's rumor has it. Same with this affair. Right now, following his arrest, Caleb, the former American Idol contestant and music pastor, was charged with, but wait, I'm going to show you the charging documents after this. He was charged with 1 count of homicide, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence. But wait, there's more. Wait till I show you the charging documents and what those upped to. Now, came Friday, Bond was issued at $2 million as Caleb pled not guilty to the charges against him. Now, authorities, I want you to remember, this is the girly girlfriend. This is Aaliyah Botner. This is the 23-year-old girlfriend that he allegedly texted, "It's done," and repeatedly over and over the morning he killed his wife with 2 gunshot wounds to the head. Now, authorities found probable cause to charge Caleb with murder. However, specific investigative details were not released yet due to the ongoing investigation. But we've got them now. So I want you to take a look at what he dumped his wife and his children and did. All that was for this, in my opinion. Now, he was City, Ohio dad. Was he having an extramarital affair? Of disconcert and alleged text that the shooter is alleged to have sent in the prior hours to Ashley's murder at 2:30 in the morning, guys, on a Monday, according to leaked documents. Now, at 12:42 a.m., less than 2 hours before the shooting, Caleb allegedly texted an unidentified woman, "It's almost done." A social media group dedicated to discussing the murder of Ashley Flynn identified the unidentified woman as being Caleb's 23-year-old lover, Aaliyah Botner, who he met at his husband and wife's church, the Christian Life Center of Dayton, Ohio, if anyone knows that. Now, stated the post in part captioned with a photo of Botner, his girlfriend, allegedly. This is apparently the young woman Caleb Flynn was having an affair with. Like him, she's a worship leader at the church. Her name's Aaliyah Botner. She and Caleb would sing and worship on stage together, all while allegedly committing adultery and lying through their teeth. Now, the thread further alleges that Ashley Flynn sending a text in which she purportedly confided, "I can't anymore." Okay. Now, did the husband shoot the wife to save face in front of the church? Reads about an inscription on Botner's Facebook page, "Lover and follower of Jesus." So now that it's out, people are not having this. All right. According to alleged leaked documents, investigations highlight includes the recovery of deleted messages confirming a month-long extramarital affair, all right, or months-long. The investigator further noted heavy communication between Caleb and the other woman that intensified right before the crime, according to the alleged leaked court documents. Now, commented one user on a thread says, "Now charge the girlfriend. She obviously knew what he was about to do. She could have saved her life." Another person said, "Just file for divorce. Damn." Another one wrote, "Mr. Flynn planned to do this so he would look like a victim. Poor Caleb. His wife was killed in a burglary instead of him confessing before the church that he and his little girlfriend were cheating and Ashley was going to leave him. A selfish act, an act not to be seen as a cheating liar, but to be seen as a sad victim, a widow that lost his wife." Now, in another response, "The blood is not on her hands. I get it. You're upset about the situation, but the blood is absolutely not on her hands. Let's not overdo it." Now, this is not me saying it. It's me reading comments. Now, officials have not publicly responded to those allegations, whether or not the alleged mistress Aaliyah Botner is even under investigation or they've talked to her. But that's a major point of contention in this relationship. And that's the number one motive for a crime like this to be committed. Okay. So let's get into it. What in the heck is going on? I want to find that 911 call so bad. I have it on, I have it. Where did I have it? I think it's got to be longer than this. Where's the 911 call? I mean, I'm going to put you on this and see if I can find the extended version, but you got to hear this. Right out of the gate, they knew he was full of crap. Hold on. Viewer discretion advised. Viewer discretion. TDA didn't receive the 911 call in the Ashley Flynn case. The audio can be disturbing. All right, so beware. I thought it was more than 25 seconds, but let's listen in.
Advised for the upcoming audio.
Oh, what?
I need you to take a deep breath for me. Are you hearing anything?
No, I've rubbed her leg and said her name. She's not answering. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Do you still see anybody in the house?
No, the door to the garage was wide open. Please hurry, please.
Viewer discretion is advised for the upcoming audio.
Okay, so
I
that.
need you to take a deep breath for me.
Okay, hold on.
Are you hearing anything?
No, I've rubbed her leg and said her name. She's not answering. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Do you still see anybody in the house?
No, the door to the garage was.
All right, we're gonna pull this one down again and put it in this format because there's so many different versions of it, and I want you to hear the whole thing because, well, it explains a lot, all right, and it will explain a lot. So let me get that 911 call out, and yeah, as we go, 911 call released by Caleb Flynn after wife Ashley Flynn was shot and killed. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention closely.
A big release by authorities today detailing more about the murder of 37-year-old Ashley Flynn. I'm Jenna Lee Bork, and Miami County Prosecutor's Office authorized the release of the 911 call, and we want to warn you, this could be very difficult to listen to.
Please, please hurry, please, please hurry.
That's the panicked sound of 39-year-old Caleb Flynn on the phone with a 911 dispatcher in the early morning hours of Monday, February 16th, saying his wife, Ashley Flynn, had been shot. At one point, Caleb was an American Idol contestant who made it to Hollywood, telling the world in this American Idol YouTube clip who his inspiration was.
The person that inspires me to be an informer, I guess, would say the Lord. I'm a music pastor.
On Monday, he was a Tipp City man describing a tragic incident. At the beginning of the call, Caleb tells the dispatcher that someone broke into their home and shot his wife. He's asked if the person is still in the house, and he responds that he doesn't know. Then he's asked what he's seeing.
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
God, I mean, guys, right there, you would not know. You would not never know. No, there's not a person that would know that she had 2 shots to her head. And when the ambulance and the teams arrived, they said that there was no way you could have been able to tell. Now, this dispatcher says, can you get something and put it on like a compression, like a towel to kind of stop the bleeding? And when they saw that, and I'm picturing it, there would be literal blood everywhere from 2 9mm shots to the head. There's no way, unless you were the shooter, that you would be able to identify that. Okay? No way, no how. This guy is a dumb criminal, that's for sure.
At times, Caleb sounds hysterical, but he answers the dispatcher's questions, eventually telling them where Ashley is.
Do you still see anybody in the house?
No, the door to the garage was wide open. Please hurry, please. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. My daughter.
And then a bit, they're like, calm down, ma'am. Ma'am, I mean, this whole thing is so fake and almost embarrassing. The preacher voices lust so blatantly. And he thought he'd get away with it. He did. He really did.
There's her here. My daughter's here.
Where's she at?
She's in the bed. She's in the bed.
The dispatcher then works to clarify if Caleb is with the children.
I was with the children when it happened.
Okay, but you're not with them now?
No, they're in their room. They're not even.
See, that doesn't even make sense that he was with them. Caleb went with Willie Whistle the Clown 911 voice, right? He was burglared, but he was with his children when it happened. Well, guys, what was it that happened? You tell me, what is it that happened? Was it the robbery that was happening when you were with them? And now you're not concerned about them anymore because what? There actually weren't any? You tell us, sir. You're the one there. We don't know.
Awake.
Caleb is reassured authorities are on their way and the dispatcher works to calm him down while continuing to gather information.
Are you hearing any kind of noise inside the house?
No, her face is, oh, sir, her face is white as good ghost. Please hurry.
Ashley was pronounced dead on the scene. Investigators spent the rest of the week gathering evidence, and on Thursday, Caleb was arrested and charged with murder for Ashley's death. He was arraigned Friday morning, and his bond was set at $2 million.
All right, so I want to show you what his actual charges are. Hopefully we can I can share this properly. He has a crap load of charges, you guys. So before we continue, I want to share those with you. That guy is, I don't know what he was thinking with that 911 call. He did everything that you should not do in a 911 call. Okay. Now, ultimately, we heard the charges earlier, and yes, my storage is full. It's getting full, guys. You see that? 80% storage. Get some. All right. Caleb Flynn, American Idol. He is now facing a total of 12 charges, guys. And I'm going to show you him in the arraignment after this. Okay. Including 2 counts of intimidation of a witness. What? What witness was he intimidating? He's got number 1, the big capital M. Number 2, aggravated M. Number 3, felony M. Felonious assault. Tampering with evidence. 2 intimidations of a witness. 1 obstructing justice. 1 year firearm specification. And a 3-year firearm specification. Now, I ask you, do you see what the charges are and how they've been upped? I'm trying to zoom in on this, and I'm not able to. Let me see if I can share this with you. So take a look at this charging document there. All right, this was filed on February 24th. That was yesterday at 2:47 in Ohio. Okay, this is Miami County, but it's in Ohio. Let's not get that twisted. So the municipal court case number, we can look it up there to keep track of it. State of Ohio versus Caleb Flynn, the defendant. Judge Kendall will probably remain. Now, it says I, Caleb Flynn, have fully been advised concerning my rights to a speedy trial as provided by the Constitution of the United States and the state of Ohio, by statutes including but not limited to revised code sections, which provide for the trial within 90 days if I'm in jail in lieu of bail solely on pending case. Otherwise, up to 270 days. Now, I understand these rights and voluntarily waive them personally and by counsel. So he is not going to have a speedy trial. This is going to drag out, and he's going to plead not guilty, which he does. Now, this waiver applies to every offense and specification which could be charged against me. This is his document related to the investigation of the offense with which I am now charged. We got the incident number included but not limited to, and then there you go, guys. You couldn't get much clearer than what those charges are. That's what he did to his wife, and he's not even being charged with what he did to his children. Okay, so you be outraged. Do me a favor, be outraged. We have 114 people in here. Let's get back in that algorithm. Hit that like button and share with your friends and community. All right. We want to cover other stuff, guys. We do, but it's hard when we can't get people in the house. And we wanted to do a giveaway, but Synth has to tell me if we're doing a giveaway or not. So Synth, let me know. All right. So take a look at those charges. That is the charging document there. All right. Just like I told you, he's got 12 counts, major charges of M, aggravated M, felony M, felonious assault, tampering with evidence. What's the intimidation of a witness? We'll have to find out. 1 year firearm specifications applicable, and 3 year. That's probably him getting his license and so forth. All right. So what happened? We know February 16th, Tipp City, Ohio responded after 2:30 to a reported home burglary. Inside, the officers found Flynn dead in her bed from multiple gunshot wounds. 2 shell casings were found near her body. Now, we heard the 911 call telling dispatchers he found his wife shot after an apparent break-in and that he and their children were home at the time. The dispatcher heard him distressed and described the scene, which we heard. Now, detectives later concluded the scene may have been staged to look like a burglary, leading to suspicion that initial story was not genuine, and police initially treated the incident as a homicide investigation. We don't need to get into the charges. We just did that. His attorney has criticized the speed of the arrest and has questioned aspects of the investigation, suggesting it may not have been thoroughly conducted, right? Because just because he's the husband doesn't mean he did it. Right now, Ashley's family released a statement, and I'm going to read that to you now because they had to they had to stop the celebration of life, or her funeral had to be postponed. Can you imagine that? And I don't even exactly know why. Let's see she was having a public funeral. Country Music Family put out an article today, February 25th. Ashley Flynn's family cancels public funeral and releases the statement about her murder. I hope you guys are with me here. Has anybody seen this? Are you guys into it? Do you know about it? Are you going to want to hear more about it? Okay, so Synth says, I don't know what that means, Synth. Give at 6. I don't know if we'll be here at 6. What do you mean giveaway at 6? I'm posting, but you can't see it. Okay, so you guys have to be a member and you have to be in the US. We're going to do a giveaway at the end of this show. And I can pin it now, girl. You just weren't putting it. Oh no, it's not letting me. I'm going to put it up there for a second. And by the way, happy birthday, Kevin. Since husband, Kevin his birthday today, and one lucky member will win a half dozen customized guilty of crime white fudge covered Oreo cookies. Must be a member and must be in the United States to get them. So get your memberships now. You got to be in the green. Trust me. Synth puts her heart into those cookies. Not only do they look good, but I could just eat them all up. I'm bad with that. So happy birthday, Kevin. Thank you for loaning your wife out to us tonight and every night, right? Guilty of Crime's favorite mod, right? What's up, Holly? Good to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Is Tiff in the house? Where'd my girl Tiff at? There she is. Tiff's here. Mama Pearl's here. We're covered. All right, let me tell you what happened, guys. Now, listen, this is not cool that they had to do this, but I want to release what the family is saying. So let me, this is a reading part, and hold on. Give me just one quick second. All right, guys. Baby Guilty says hello. Mama Pearl says I want some cookies. Baby Guilty came in here and well, she's the number one attention getter. So I'm here. I just needed to talk to the baby, and she said hi to you guys. She's 11. She's not a baby. All right. I'm back. I'm not muted. Okay. All right. I'm about to go off. What? All right, let's go. I'm going to continue on this. All right, this beautiful woman, Ashley Flynn, dedicated mother and wife. Her life was taken too soon, allegedly by Caleb Flynn, American Idol contestant, was arrested and charged in the connection with his wife's murder. Ashley Flynn, a beloved mother and volleyball coach, her life was taken in her own home in Ohio in mid-February. Her husband American Idol Caleb Flynn reportedly found her body on February 16th and called 911 to report a home invasion. All right, I want to really talk about what the family says, but police chief confirmed that 37-year-old Ashley died from a gunshot wound. Chief Atkins shared the department's beliefs that the murder was a targeted incident, just like the Tepe murders. And they said they had no reason to believe that the general public was in immediate danger. Now, where do we keep hearing that, guys? Where do we keep hearing from law enforcement that we're not in any danger? The Nancy Guthrie case. And you know why? Because I believe that FBI and law enforcement knows exactly who and what was already going down in this case. They knew it was Caleb, and they knew he couldn't threaten anybody else because it was targeted. Pastor Felonius will live at American Idol Jailhouse Edition. And thank you, Mama Pearl, for the $3.99. You just bought me a Red Bull. Thank you. I streamed for 4 hours last night, guys. Boy, you guys are dedicated for sitting here and listening to me. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Okay, let's get into it. We gotta see this pathetic man and his pathetic tears for his pathetic self. I don't take kindly to this. I say, and I've been with my wife. We just in July we'll be together 21 years, married 18. I say, if you don't like me, or you whatever, you're not attracted to me anymore, you don't like me, or you meet someone, just tell me. We'll get over it. We'll get through it. We'll split our asses, whatever. I don't even care about that. But don't do me like that. Don't go cheat on me and then try to kill my ass while I'm sleeping, thinking I'm comfy in my bed, knowing that you're plotting on my ass to kill me. That's what I say. And I say it just like that to my wife, all right? Just saying. I literally say it just like that. Don't kill me. Just ask for a divorce or do whatever. Go get a girlfriend. I don't care. As long as baby Guilty's taken care of, but don't kill me in my sleep, all right? All right, let's go. That's what I wanted to tell you guys, because people need to get a freaking divorce. If you want 23-year-old booty, go have 23-year-old booty, but let your wife know she's not included, right? He was with her for freaking 16 years. 16 years. And that upsets me to the fullest because, like I said, I've been with my wife coming up on 21 years. I feel so safe with her that I can't even explain how safe. I mean, I feel as safe with her as I do with my mom. She's my family now. And I could never imagine falling asleep and her waiting for me to fall asleep to kill me. That's one of the worst sins that you can do. Yeah. Divorce now is absolutely a 50-50 shot nowadays, according to statistics. And Synth, I love that you and Kevin are going on 24 years strong. Guys, he's going to get Bubba's booty now. No more 23-year-old booty. And let's watch him whine like a little bitch that he is.
Charged with killing his wife, 39-year-old Caleb Flynn of Tipp City, calling 911 just after 2:30 Monday morning, claiming someone broke into their home and shot his wife while his two daughters were asleep in their room.
That's right. And today, Flynn stood before a judge, now charged with Ashley Flynn's murder. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson has more front on the story from Tipp City.
4 days after Ashley Flynn was shot and killed inside her house, the Flynn's home here on a quiet cul-de-sac in Tipp City remains taped off with crime scene tape. Meanwhile, Caleb Flynn faced a judge for the first time since his arrest last night.
Mr. Flynn, you have several charges here. Count one is a murder charge.
Caleb Flynn stood inside the Miami County Jail.
Don't worry, I have the raw footage of this. You guys are going to see the whole thing with me as we continue. You're going to see what a whiny little bitch boy that he actually is. And I'm telling you right now, I wish I can get P&O over here right now, or Jumpsuit Pablo, or any Viking, any of those guys to tell us how much of a bitch this guy's going to be. But guys, listen, we didn't just come on here to discover and talk about this case. we're also talking about the psychology behind why men like this kill their wives rather than just getting a divorce. Why does it keep happening time and time again? That's what we're getting into, the psychology of what we're discussing today. So I didn't want to just come at you with the same old, here's a story, here's a book. Let's have a, it's like remember when we were growing up, the cartoons always had a problem and then they had a solution at the end of it. Every lesson you learn, we want to learn lessons on Guilty of Crime, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to find out why men like this continue to do this. Yeah, that's part of it. They're evil, but there's a psychology behind it, guys. And divorced and happy is right, Mom. My mom says divorced and happy. You should say divorced and happily single. All right. And congratulations to Foxy. I've never tripped down on the aisle. Y'all crack me up. All right, let's get to it. I've got the best channel. I'm sorry. I've got the best crime crew, the best channel, the best mods. We're all blessed here, guys. Now let's watch him.
As a judge read his charges: murder, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence. A not guilty plea was entered. The judge then asked him about bond.
Is there anything you would want to tell me about that?
Sir, I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not at risk.
I understand. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, the court.
He's already crying like a little bitch. And I'm not even going to say a little girl because I have a little girl that's way tougher than that. Oh, my goodness. Happy birthday, Kevin. And everybody else, that's your birthday. All right. All right, let's get through this.
Is going to order a $2 million blanket bond in this case, covering all of your charges.
Flynn mentioned his two daughters, who were reportedly sleeping in their room around 2:30 Monday morning when their mother, 37-year-old Ashley Flynn, was shot in the head. Here's a portion of what Caleb told a 911 dispatcher.
Miami County 911.
Oh my God! Somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, what are you seeing?
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head.
Hold on, ma'am.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Flynn said he didn't see anyone in the house, but the door to the garage was wide open. At the time of the call, Flynn told the dispatcher he was in the bedroom with his wife, who was not breathing.
You were not with the children?
I was with the children when it happened.
Okay, but you're not with them now?
No, they're in their room. They're not even aware.
I actually would have said, when what happened, sir? I can't even tell what's going on. You were with the children when what happened? Now the girls have no parents, but listen to Jab. Speculation says that this mother trucker used that chloroform to knock them out while he was committing the crime, the worst crime you can commit while his wife was sleeping. Yes, thank you. Prayers for all the victims of the world. May they rest in peace. And particularly this family, Ashley and her children. They no longer are going to have a mother or a father. All right? Just get a freaking divorce.
Wait. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
When Tipp City police arrived, they say they found 2 shell casings near the bed where Ashley was. Caleb Flynn agreed to speak to officers at the police department that morning. He was charged with murder 3 days later. And Ashley Flynn has been described as a genuine person, a warm and caring mother, teacher, and coach. Reporting in Tipp City, Karen Johnson.
All right, Karen Johnson, let's get to it. We got some other videos we want to document so you can see this monster that tried to act like a good pastor and hide behind the Bible. Now, this was published prior to him being arrested, obviously, and every other video is connected to what happened to Nancy. I hope that she is brought home soon, guys. Don't think that I'm not going to cover this. And I got to say, Plunder did a fantastic job of procuring a lot of these clips and things. So shout out to her. I try not to use her stuff as much as I can because, well, yeah, I just don't want to do that. But let's take a look at this. This is the guy. Now we fast forward to 13 years later, and this is before the arrest, obviously.
Caleb here. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Wanted to take a moment just to remind you that
Hold on, guys. I'm sorry.
our At the Movies series.
All right.
How's it going, church? Pastor Caleb here. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Wanted to take a moment just to remind you that this weekend is the finale of our At the Movies series. We've had an incredible 2 weeks, but we have saved the best for last. And so I want to encourage you, invite your friends, invite your family. We've got a seat saved just for you. And so again, join us for the finale this weekend of our At the Movies series. And then also this weekend, you can bring in your backpacks for our backpack drive. We've got these packing lists that you can pick up at the welcome desk. And so let's fill that crate full of backpacks with those supplies for some kids and families who may not be able to get those supplies before school starts. And so you can bring in those backpacks starting this Sunday. And of course,
and guys, and that is why it's hard to trust a soul on this planet, because this guy, I mean, he was on American Idol, right? He's got some talent, obviously. We saw him on there. He's a pastor. People believe in him. He's at church every week. He does the singing there. He's married for 16 years with 2 kids. And what else do you want? And then this, right? We're going to jump from Doofus McGee to even dumber McGee in just a moment.
never miss any Sunday, but definitely not in August. We've got some exciting things coming up that we're going to be announcing here soon. But church, we love you guys, and we'll see you this Sunday at 10 a.m.
After I have
How's it going?
After I have my booty call with my 20.
Broken my home. Somebody broke in my home. Shot my wife.
All right, I think it went to that, but we're not gonna. We already listened to that call, so we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go to this. He traded in his street clothes for an orange jumpsuit, guys. Just the way we like it when criminals do that, right? So there you go. He traded it all in, and he was supposed to have court tomorrow, but they moved it out for a month. He's in no hurry to be in jail or prison the rest of his life. Let's listen in for 3 minutes while the judge talks to this loser.
You may be seated.
All right, this is case 26 CRA 285, Caleb C. Flynn. Mr. Flynn, you have several charges here. Count 1 is a murder charge, is a count felony of the first degree. Count 2 is 2 and 3 are both felonious assault charges, second degree felonies. Count 4 is tampering with evidence, a third degree felony. And
does anyone that's following this case know who he was trying to harass or conflicting with evidence or getting rid of it? And has anyone heard about any of this? I mean, I'm trying to dig much deeper than it's out there on all the other platforms. The other people covering are just covering small portions of it, and it's like, oh, American Idol cheated on his wife and killed her, and that's about all I'm getting. So I'm just curious, who was he intimidating? What was he doing? Anyway, that'll have to be on follow-up episodes, I guess.
That's count 4. Count 5 is tampering with evidence, a third degree felony. Mr. Falker?
Your Honor, Mr. Flynn would tender plead not guilty and would ask for this matter to be scheduled for a preliminary hearing. Mr. Flynn is residing in Tipp City. He doesn't own a commercial flooring company. He is not on probation for community control. He has no charges pending against him. That's in the criminal history. He would ask the court to establish reasonable bounds.
Mr. Flynn.
Oh, we can see the date right there. That was 5 days ago on the 20th. He was supposed to come back this week, but they literally pushed it out until 3/26/26. Now let's listen to him whine. Why would he ever think that he would get released, by the way?
And we're going to set your case for a preliminary hearing for next week on February 26th at 1 p.m. You do have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, you can apply to the public defender's office, and they'll determine if you're eligible for a court-appointed attorney. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the court with regards to a bond in this case?
I'm so sorry you cut out there.
Is there anything you'd like to tell the court with respect to bond in this case?
I'm I don't really understand that. So no,
Okay,
sir.
so the court has to establish a bond, sir.
Now, as you can see, he doesn't have an attorney with him and no representation at this conference, which is interesting because many times when you see the arraignment, you got somebody there directing or helping. So I'm not quite sure how this went down, but we know it did 5 days ago. And that's your last haircut outside of prison, buddy.
To ensure your appearance, okay? So the court will establish a bond, and you have the right to tell me, hey, I'm not a flight risk, I am a flight risk, or anything of that nature. Is there anything you would want to tell me about that?
Sir, I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not at risk.
I understand. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, the court is going to order a $2 million blanket bond in this case, covering all of your charges. Should you post bond in this case, the court will order that you be on pretrial services electronically monitored house arrest. Furthermore, the court will order that you will have no contact whatsoever, directly or indirectly through a third party with.
Really, Nicole?
You are not permitted to speak to them in any way, shape, or form. That includes electronic communications. You are not allowed to communicate through family members whatsoever. You understand all of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Like, he's like, listen, sir, you're not going to be able to talk to anyone. There's no witness tampering. You're not going to talk to your kids. You're not going to see your kids. And we're putting a $2 million cash bond. You ain't going nowhere, buddy. That's what he's saying. Let me make sure we're good. Okay, you guys doing this. We're doing a giveaway. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay. All right, let's continue to watch Mr. Poopy Pants. And I want to, before we even dig any deeper, I do want to go into what Dr. Seth has to say about this, because then we're still going to get back into the story. All right. There's, I found Dr. Seth, who's a psychologist, that came out with this video, why men choose to take the lives of their wives rather than divorce, like the psychology behind what he particularly did. So let's get into that before we continue any further. I think you guys get what happened here. There's going to be more details coming out, but we're going to break for the, again, in my description, Dr. Seth, psychologist, just came out with this video, and he's going to break down the psychology of why some men kill their wives. All right, let's go.
And today I want to share a little psychological commentary on a recent case that has come to light. And that is the case of Caleb Flynn, a former American Idol contestant who was charged on Friday, February 20th, with the murder of his wife. So first, I'll just share a little bit about what happened. So on February 16th, Monday, in those early morning hours, Caleb Flynn called 911 and he reported that his wife had been shot. This was Monday, the early morning hours. While this happened, the two daughters were at home and they were sleeping, and they reportedly did not hear what happened and slept through it. The family also reportedly had two dogs, I believe 2 golden doodles. So fast forward a few days later, and Caleb Flynn was charged with the murder. He was also charged with 2 counts of felonious assault and tampering with evidence. The court documents show that prosecutors believed that the scene had been staged to look like a burglary or a home invasion originally.
And that's why I wanted to talk particularly about this case and the psychology, because, guys, frankly, we see this time and time again. Joanne, you're here. That's awesome. And I'm sure that you say, Jay, I've seen this a million times. Why does it keep happening? And that's what I want to know. Why does it keep happening? And somebody asked a good point earlier. Why do these people coming off reality TV, or they get their 15 minutes of fame, or now we're starting to see social media influencers committing the most horrendous crimes? What is it with that? All right, Nicole, you say the whole town's still in shock. Nothing ever happens here. Seriously. And Nicole, he messed up from the get-go. Let's talk about that now, about his staging. All right. He staged it as a burglary and shot her twice in the head. Very targeted, very personal attack.
And then on Friday 20th, he was arraigned and Caleb Flynn pleaded not guilty.
I think so.
Now, this case will be adjudicated and the court will determine whether Caleb Flynn was guilty or innocent of those charges. I want to take a moment and talk about cases in which the man is found guilty of murdering his wife and what those motivations can be. Now, specifically, I want to address a couple of questions that people often ask when a man murders his wife. And
now, before we even get into that, guys, I want to say what makes the difference in this case. Thankfully, I'm so grateful that those little girls did not die. This guy reminds me, when I first heard of this, like Chris Watts, like he would be a total family annihilator. And I don't know what held him back from not going 2 steps further, right? Because if he used chloroform to put them to sleep, that could have harmed them or gave them heavy sleeping pills, but he didn't take their lives. So he's going to be locked up probably forever. And this happens time and time again. But why is what we're here for. Justice for Alyssa. I'm going to call you Melissa. Hi, honey. Cooking dinner, listening. All right. Well, we're giving out some cookies later. So stay in here and listen. Don't forget to hit that like button, Melissa. And smile while you're cooking, girl. It's good to do so. All right. He can hold the church in jail. He can. He could be a pastor. He's going to bend over for the big boys.
First question is this one. Why would the man think that he could get away with it? Most people just can't mentally wrap their heads around that. Now, in cases where the man does not plan out the murder of his wife, a lot of times it is pure emotion and often rage that causes the man to do that. So he doesn't in those moments necessarily believe that he can get away with it. He doesn't necessarily believe that he will. There are other cases, however, where the murder is planned. And so why would such a man believe that he could get away with the murder? So psychologically, this often speaks to a grandiosity, the belief, the man.
So listen, that grandiosity gives you a good idea of the connections between why somebody that's a social media influencer or, a YouTuber or went on American Idol on a reality show, right there points out the grandiosity theory. And when that fails and you didn't win American Idol and your wife isn't saying, let me give you a blowjob, baby, you're so hot. Because we know after years and years of marriage and kids, it's not like that would be with a 23-year-old that you're going to bend over your office desk in the freaking church. Okay, so that's what the connection, in my opinion, is that they are not getting enough attention and they want that sympathy. All right, that grieving. I'm a widow. I lost my wife. I'm taking care of my children. That's what they're doing. Joanne, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Love it. Making chili. Everybody say hello. Shout out to Melissa and while she's cooking so she can hear. So hi, Melissa. Welcome to the crime crew. Scott Peterson. Yep. All right, let's continue.
Could have the belief that he is special enough or smart enough, savvy enough, and strategic enough to be able to game the system, to be smarter than investigators, to be smarter than law enforcement, and figure out things that other people were not special or smart enough to figure out that got them caught. So a lot of times there is this grandiosity, this grandiose thinking that underlies that poor decision making. Now, another question that people often ask that I want to address is this one. Why would a man not just divorce his wife rather than murder her? Why murder her?
And now we ask that. That's the $1 million question. Every time I cover a case like this, we all say, why not a divorce? Why not just get a divorce? Okay. And that's what we're going to answer for you today. What's up, Jinx? Absolutely. We got to keep the coverage flowing. All right. And shout out to Melissa. Her name's Melissa. Justice for Alyssa is for her daughter. I won't get into it too much until she's ready, but just always prayers for Melissa and, Just any parents that are grieving, any parents that are victims, and you're a victim as well. Just like Deb. Deb, because of who she is and who her son is, that, and she has to hide and do all these weird things, that everybody that's connected to a case is a victim. So in this case, like losing her daughter makes her the victim. And if she had a sister and a brother, you guys know what I'm saying. All right, let's continue. Thank you so much, Melissa. I appreciate you. And Diamond Ring Girl, welcome. Are you trying to win some cookies, girl? Let's go. Why are these men killing their wives? Do they really think they can outsmart the police?
Not just divorce. So first of all, I just want to point out that this question is a reflection on very rational thinking. But this thinking that asks this question is also what's called clinically pro-social thinking. So you've heard of the term antisocial thinking, antisocial behavior. What is that? That is a disregard, a deep disregard for social norms, social rules, and the rights of others. So the opposite of that is pro-social thinking. So anybody who would ask themselves, why would somebody not just divorce, which would be the pro-social choice to make, the rational choice, as opposed to murder, which would be the antisocial choice. So why would a man murder as opposed to just divorcing? Well, sometimes, and I know a lot of you watching will know this already, because a lot of times when many of these cases get adjudicated, a lot of times there ends up being a mercenary motivation. And so that is almost understood largely in the culture, one of the most primary motives for murder. Now, in the case of mercenary motivations, sometimes there's life insurance involved.
Yes, and that's why this topic is, it's like this topic can be one of many different reasons. In this case, if we didn't know about the alleged affair, what would you say? Would you say that, oh, does she have a life insurance policy? Does she have, what assets do they have? But that's not the case here. There's nothing like that. So in this case, I believe the motive is absolutely wanted to wipe his wife clean out of his life, didn't want to pay child support, didn't want to do custody, just wanted all the perks and none of the stuff that everybody else doesn't want as well. What's up, Freddie? Jay, my loving wife and I made salads, watching now with TV trays. Well, hello, wife. And thank you for watching Guilty of Crime. I appreciate you. Indy Isham says thank you, Jay, for not talking about the poor Nancy Guthrie's case. It's everywhere. I know. And unless important things come up, I gotta cover other cases, guys. Gotta cover other cases. It usually is all about the money, but I think what took this guy over the edge was having to pay the money after being married 16 years and wanting some young booty. All right. Sherlock Homegirl says, I'm starving and I don't know what to eat and I'm grumpy. Well, girl, get yourself a snack. Just grab yourself some chips or go in the fridge, get a piece of cheese. Come on. You don't be grumpy. You're hangry. I know that feeling. All right. What's up, Deb? You made it. Caleb pointed the gun the wrong way. All right, let's continue. You're absolutely correct, though.
But another thing is that divorce is truly expensive. So a man could be engaging in the really poor thinking to think that setting up two households and alimony or child support payments are really so expensive and can go on for many, many, many years. And they may say to themselves that they refuse to accept that reality. And so they tell themselves that they want to murder as an option. Another reason that sometimes men engage in murder is to avoid deep humiliation that they perceive.
Now, guys, I gotta tell you, in this particular case, I absolutely. What's up, Millie? Good to see you, my girl. Janet, beef fried wild rice here. She said, "Hangry, yeah, hangry. Feed on the crime buffet." Okay, I mean, listen, we can take our pick here. I think the biggest motivator in this case was, well, yeah, you're right, poontang, like Foxy says, but I think he didn't want to get a divorce because of the way he would look to his church. He was a pastor and he wanted everybody to think that he was so perfect. I think that was the number one motivator. And then secondly, the poontang. All right. All right. And Deb, I'm going to text you when I'm done here. I got some stuff for you. Thanks for texting me back. All right. Let's continue.
Could happen if they were to divorce. For example, if a man is left, some men may feel like that experience may be so shameful or so humiliating that they will not allow that reality to take place. So some men tell themselves in this situation, they will control that humiliation from taking place by engaging in murder. Another reason has to do with a man's social community. If a man perceives that he is a part of a social community that would look down on him or think less of him, judge him, even be angry at him for engaging in something like divorce, he may perceive that as a very negative response. As opposed to, he may tell himself that if he were to lose a wife by murder, someone else murdering her, he could make the mistake of telling himself that he could induce the sympathy of.
That is huge. And Deb, even before Deb hopped on here and said that, ding, ding, ding. This man that we think is probably just really a big man child, that we heard him crying for himself, thinking he was actually going to get out on bond to take care of his children. No, my friend. No. What's up, Allie Callie? How you doing? Yeah, from poontang to hot dogs, man. Bend over, brother. Even if you don't drop the soap, you're in trouble, buddy. You're kind of pretty. As a matter of fact, you sure do have a purty mouth, right, guys? He sure does have a purty little mouth there. You see that purty mouth? Look at that. Look at that purty smile he's got. They're going to love him in there. All right, let's continue. He sure do got a purty mouth. And you know what he's going to use that mouth for there. Dummy.
Others in his social community if he were to lose a wife at the hands of murder by someone else. And in some circumstances, a man who murders his wife may have already identified another female that he wants to start a relationship with, or he may actively already have started that relationship. And so he falsely makes the mistake of thinking to himself that this is the cleanest, easiest way to start that new life, is by committing murder. But what this really reflects is wishful, magical thinking. And finally, what you may be thinking is, where is the empathy, especially when there are children involved? Because who isn't thinking, how could this affect these children?
Right. I mean, particularly a pastor, right? I mean, he knows the Lord, allegedly. He has a relationship with God. God would never be okay with what he's doing. Millie, what's up? I'm not on vacation, but YouTube has been a little pain in the butt. Brenda Shepherd, welcome, says I love your channel and I appreciate that. Oh, Tracy, you live close to this? I bet everybody's talking about that. A big narcissist and sociopath. Scary to think he was a pastor. Wow. Yeah, I have some of the videos where he's singing in the choir with his freaking girlfriend that he was cheating on and texting the morning of her death, right? Synth, there you go, right? Freaking there. Thou shall not kill. What happened, buddy?
How could this affect their lives for years to come? The empathy simply is not a primary thought in this behavior. And that, of course, is a major problem, because that is one of the fundamental characteristics that should preside in any family system. Parents prioritizing the emotional needs and protection of their children. All right. And before I close today, I just want to make a final point about the 911 call.
Yes, we want to hear about your final point, and we got more for you guys. If you want, we've been here an hour and 13 minutes. I mean, we can just call it a day, but I don't think y'all are ready to stop this case, right? If I let you guys go right now, you're going to have to go watch some more Nancy Guthrie stuff chasing their tail. So I'll stay on here for a while, guys. What's up, Jenny? How you doing? Joseph, so many got away with this stuff years ago before police research and upgrades, and I'm here for it, Joseph Morgan. I'm here for it all day long. Bring it. Indy says, I'm doing pretty well. I got attacked by mosquitoes yesterday. 16 bites. Do you have puppies right now? Deb. All right. Sorry I'm intruding on your email, your message time. Don't let me intrude. Let's continue.
people may listen to a 911 call. In the case of Caleb Flynn, they could listen to that call, or any number of calls in high-profile cases where people listen to the 911 call and listen to the tone of voice or what is said in the call. It is very natural for people to try to listen to things like that, try to gain the information, and then make a determination about what they believe. Does this sit right with their instincts? Does this sound true, or does this sound false or staged? One of the things that's really important to remember when it comes to acute stress events or traumatic.
And I love this because, again, most killers don't want to call 911. They avoid it like the plague. Now, the Jab says, and I don't want to miss your comments, the Jab says he chloroformed his kids. He's only worried about himself. That's it. And I believe he used his children as a pawn in everything. All right. He probably used them as a pawn with his girlfriend. So I can't do it because the kids. He probably, I mean, everything about this guy only cares about himself. Happy birthday to your Kevin. What is up? You say stay. I'm so sad about Nancy, but I just can't see another hour of it all. Well, thank you. I made you come out of the bushes and say hello. You see why my background is like that? Because we're covering American Idol pastor Caleb Flynn charged in his wife's death, evidence and rumors. And guess what, guys? I mean, we're on the latest stuff right now. 911 call is very sus, but there's a lot of breaking news right now that's happening, and it's everything that I'm telling you about. Exactly. That's why I'm saying, how did they sleep through that? He must have done something to keep them asleep.
Events is that there is no universal way that people react to the stress. So it's important to not assume too much based on how one responds emotionally in a situation like that. One of the things that comes to mind is the trial of Amanda Knox.
Yes, love it. And guess what, guys? As soon as this, I'm gonna hop to another one and show you on is it on Facebook, or I think it's on Facebook. We're gonna hop on to Ashley Flynn's Facebook. It's super creepy. You know how Plunder got a lot of the information? Plunder's covering this also. She's got like the raw audio and stuff like that, guys. Well, listen up here. She was researching the case of Ashley Flynn. I'm going to show you next. Ashley Flynn being murdered by her husband. And as she was literally downloading and documenting the social media, this monster, Caleb Flynn, changed his wife's picture, the thumbnail picture, to make it look like they're in love. I'm going to show you that in a minute. I thought that was super creepy. All right. Very creepy while you're doing research. Remember, it took days for them to arrest the husband. And in the meantime, he's covering it up, doing stuff on social media. And he changes the picture to make it look like he was a loving husband and father. I'll show you that next.
Specifically, the period when Amanda Knox, who in 2007 was being investigated in Perugia, Italy, for the possible murder of Meredith Kircher. Well, law enforcement was looking at her and questioning whether she had involvement. And one day, while Amanda Knox was in the police station in Perugia, she was filmed on video doing a cartwheel. A lot of people looked at that cartwheel, that video, and it was so emotionally salient to see that. And a lot of times it's easy in that situation to assume that, for example, might indicate guilt. Why would somebody in such a stressful situation be engaging in what looks to be such lighthearted behavior? But it's important, again, to remember that we can't make assumptions based on reactions like that alone, especially when it comes to acute stress events. All right? I'm Dr. Seth, psychologist.
Go sub up to him, guys. I did not know that.
Oh, this is Dr. Grande.
That he existed until today. And then Dr. Grande also did a really good one, but I don't want to play the whole thing because he goes over just a recap. So I'm going to go about 5 minutes in. I want you to hear what his perspective is on American Idol who loved his wife, invokes a mysterious intruder. He's going to analyze that. Give it about 5 minutes, and then we're going to hop back to Ashley Flynn's page. You can see how creepy it is that he changed that photo. And fake book. I want you to see fake book and how he portrayed his life to be. So you guys do understand that I call it fake book instead of Facebook because it's very, very fake. Okay. People don't put pictures up of, oh, my husband just popped me in the eye, or we just got into a fight, or I just spanked my child. We don't see that. All right. So that's why I'm like wanting to know the psychology behind this, because it happens again and again. Is there a way for us to prevent this? How can we prevent this? Is it possible?
Attorney said that he and Caleb, quote, were disappointed and concerned about the short timeline and seeming rush to judgment in this case, unquote. The lawyer also said, quote, when the government runs out of leads or can't develop leads and looks at a surviving spouse in cases such as these, the chance of a wrongful conviction increases, unquote. The state of Ohio, of course, disagrees. They believe that Caleb shot his wife to death and then pretended that a mysterious intruder was the perpetrator. There are many questions in this case that remain unanswered. A few examples. Did the police ever find the weapon that killed Ashley? Did she sustain 2 gunshot wounds to the head, as Caleb indicated? Did video surveillance from neighboring homes capture a mysterious vehicle?
Yeah, so today there's a lot more questions than answers, but they will be coming out, I assure you. All right, what's up, Mab? Good to see you. Yeah, absolutely. Fake book. Absolutely. Mab's in the house. We have only 63 likes. Y'all don't like this coverage? Ah, come on. Hit that like button. It's free to do so, guys. What's up? Oh, yeah. How you doing? All right, don't worry. We got a lot more for you. Indy Isham, thank you so much. Big hugs to you, girl. Appreciate you. All right, let's continue. We've got a lot more, so hang in there, guys. Chat is gone. Just me. Nah, you're the only one. I'll still talk. I'll talk to one person. All I do is I don't mind. I say these mama.
Vehicle or person in the neighborhood around the time of the murder? Was DNA recovered in the house from someone who did not live there? Was there any evidence of forced entry? How was that pedestrian door in the garage opened? Was Caleb tested for gunshot residue? Was there blood spatter on him? What was the couple's financial situation like? Did Ashley ever confide in a friend or relative about problems in her marriage?
I'm going to play this really quickly, and I'm going to mute because I need to help baby Guilty really quickly. But I promise I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm coming right back to finish the psychology and further breakdown of the case and the people and the girlfriend intertwined. So please stay here. Hit that like button. I will be right back. I apologize, but you know the deal.
Was she unhappy with Caleb? Did she have a life insurance policy? Were there any extramarital adventures going on? Did neighbors hear arguments between the couple? Did the onboard computer on the pickup truck record what time the door was opened? Was anything missing from the house other than the pistol? Did Caleb ever explain why he was supposedly sleeping in his daughter's bedroom? Was this normal for him, or was this out of the ordinary? And in the time leading up to Ashley's death, was an obvious motive for murder ever identified? With this many unanswered questions, it is difficult to conduct a meaningful analysis of guilt versus innocence, but I will give it a try. Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that Caleb Flynn is guilty of murder, starting with the inculpatory factors. When the police first saw Ashley in her bed in the master bedroom, they said it looked like she had been shot in the head. They did not say anything about Ashley being shot twice. This makes it seem like the number of gunshot wounds sustained was not obvious at first glance. Caleb told the 911 operator that Ashley had sustained 2 gunshot wounds to the head. How did he know that? It seems unusual that Caleb would be in his daughter's bedroom while his wife was sleeping in the master bedroom. This is also amazingly fortunate for Caleb, considering how, if he had been in bed with his wife, he may have been killed as well by this mysterious and likely non-existent intruder. The side door of the garage had been blocked by a large refrigerator. This would have been difficult to move and probably would have made a lot of noise, scraping across the floor. It appears as though Caleb was suggesting that the perpetrator found his 9mm pistol in the center console of his Ford pickup truck after breaking into the garage. Why would the intruder have looked in the center console of the truck? This seems like an unusual target considering he just broke into a house. After finding the pistol, why would the intruder have pushed further into the house? What was the point of murdering Ashley? What did the intruder have to gain? What was the intruder's plan if he did not find a pistol? Why didn't he have a weapon of his own? It would make more sense for the intruder simply to leave after finding the pistol. He could have considered himself a winner because he now had something he could easily sell. Moving to the exculpatory factors, there is no video of the murder. There are no witnesses. It is possible that someone could have entered the house, killed Ashley, and left quickly. When considering the limited amount of evidence available in this case, do I believe that Caleb Flynn is guilty? In my opinion, he is guilty in reality. However, the state has not yet produced enough evidence to convince me beyond a reasonable doubt. I imagine they do have more evidence, but they need to release this evidence in order for me to analyze it. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Caleb Flynn appears to have a high level of emotional reactivity. He is a man who has trouble hiding his feelings. Caleb is a self-described crybaby, which is a very believable characterization after hearing his hysterical 911 call. It's possible that Caleb became extremely angry with Ashley. Maybe she was talking about divorcing him. Perhaps they had some disagreement about money. Something happened that motivated Caleb to make an unwise and drastic move. He impulsively decided to murder Ashley. This probably occurred in the heat of the moment. If it was premeditated, Caleb did not plan it far in advance, maybe just a few minutes. Caleb retrieved his pistol and shot Ashley 2 times in the head as she was in bed. Realizing that he was now in a lot of trouble, mostly because of the murder part, Caleb decided to stage the scene to be consistent with a home invasion. He didn't really have a lot of options here for escaping responsibility. It was clear that Ashley did not shoot herself twice in the head. Caleb could not blame his daughters. That only left him or a home invader. Caleb moved the large refrigerator in his garage, opened the pedestrian door, and concealed his pistol somewhere the police may not have found it. The idea was that a perpetrator entered the garage, retrieved the pistol from the truck, and then, for some reason, decided to murder Ashley. When Caleb was done staging the scene, he called 911 and tried to act as distraught as possible. He made a mistake when he indicated that his wife had been shot twice in the head. Even if he didn't make that mistake, the problem for Caleb is that his story is very difficult to believe. Many killers have used the mysterious intruder defense over the years. This is not the first time the police have ever heard about this. There isn't really a lot of information about Caleb's attitude toward his wife, so it's not clear what the lesson learned in this case would be. Maybe just that impulsivity is a very destructive trait. If Caleb is convicted, he is going to spend the rest of his life in prison thinking about a tragic decision he made in a split second. Those are my thoughts on the case of Caleb Flynn. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.
News now, a former American Idol contestant now charged with killing his wife, 39-year-old Caleb Flynn of Tipp City, calling 911 just after 2:30 Monday morning, claiming someone broke into their home and shot his wife while his 2 daughters were asleep in their room.
That's right. And today, Flynn stood before a judge, now charged with Ashley Flynn's murder. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson has more on the story from Tipp City.
4 days after Ashley Flynn was shot and killed inside her house, the Flynn's home here on a quiet cul-de-sac in Tipp City remains taped off with crime scene tape. Meanwhile, Caleb Flynn faced a judge for the first time since his arrest last night.
Mr. Flynn, you have several charges here. Count 1 is a murder charge.
Caleb Flynn stood inside the Miami County Jail as a judge read his charges: murder, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence. A not guilty plea was entered. The judge then asked him about bond.
Is there anything you would want to tell me about that?
Sir, I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not at risk.
I understand. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, the court is going to order a $2 million blanket bond in this case, covering all of your charges.
Flynn mentioned his 2 daughters, who were reportedly sleeping in their room around 2:30 Monday morning when their mother, 37-year-old Ashley Flynn, was shot in the head. Here is a portion of what Caleb told a 911 dispatcher.
Miami County 911.
Oh my God, somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know.
Okay, what are you seeing?
My wife she got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Flynn said he didn't see anyone in the house, but the door to the garage was wide open. At the time of the call, Flynn told the dispatcher he was in the bedroom with his wife, who was not breathing.
You were not with the children?
I was with the children when it happened.
Okay, but you're not with them now?
No, they're in their room. They're not even awake. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God.
When Tipp City police arrived, they say they found 2 shell casings near the bed where Ashley was. Caleb Flynn agreed to speak to officers at the police department that morning. He was charged with murder 3 days later. And Ashley Flynn has been described as a genuine person, a warm and caring mother, teacher, and coach. Reporting in Tipp City, Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.
Well,
all right, guys, I'm sorry that I had to take so long. My bad. Was this this was probably queued up for you? Husband charged with former American. Okay, cool. Good. It didn't go on to something else. So let me just tell you what happened yesterday with the preliminary hearing being postponed and what's going to happen next. All right. I'll make sure I'm not on mute. Please don't leave. I'm sorry I had to go, but baby guilty needed me. All right, here it is. This is the most up to date, and then I'm going to get you into family fake book.
As we continue to follow the Ashley Flynn murder case, we dive into the legal process that lies ahead. I'm Jenny Borick, and the preliminary hearing has already been postponed. I spoke with a law expert who shared what we can expect to see over the next few months. Ashley Flynn was murdered a little over a week ago in her home.
And guys, say a prayer that she gets the justice she deserves. Think about, yes, baby guilty always comes first. Absolutely. Wasn't this guy, now listen, Mab, I'm glad you're here. I hope you stay for a while. Yeah, YouTube has been acting really weird, and I don't want you guys to go anywhere.
In a quiet neighborhood in Tipp City. The investigation led to the arrest of her husband, Caleb Flynn, on Thursday. His first appearance before a judge was Friday morning for his arraignment, where he pleaded not guilty. The preliminary hearing was originally scheduled for this Thursday, but on Tuesday, Caleb's attorney filed a waiver of time with the court, which pushes the hearing back until March 26th.
Now, remember, he was supposed to be tomorrow, and he waived his right to a speedy trial. So we're going to see this probably drag out quite a bit. All right. Alley Callie's listening and Costco shopping. Mab's here to the end. Perfect. Perfect. Glad you're here, buddy.
Thomas Hagel with the University of Dayton School of Law says during the preliminary hearing, the prosecution will present enough evidence to show that the alleged crimes occurred and that the alleged defendant committed them.
The prosecution has the burden of proving that. At that stage, and if the judge is convinced that probable cause is there, in other words, enough.
I mean, there's people here in chat right now that live close to them. There's people that say that they're a neighbor, a former neighbor, and that place doesn't have a crime rate like some places in Ohio, right? We're not talking about Cincinnati here. So, I mean, damn, this is rough. This would be rough to come see. When you see a crime scene unit like this, you know there's one or more people dead.
If evidence is there, then of course he will bind the defendant over to the court of common pleas.
Hagel says defense lawyers can present evidence, but usually don't at this stage. If the case gets to that point, then it will be up to a grand jury at the common pleas level to decide whether or not to indict Caleb. If the grand jury indicts, then it will go to trial, and it's up to the defendant whether they want a judge or a jury to decide the case.
Oh, he better get a jury, because I'm telling you right now, if he gets a judge, that judge is gonna rip him a new you-know-what. Perfect for those people in jail. Ashley Botner's a pass around. What is up, Astro from space? I was just about to get into the Ashley Botner and all that stuff. Little hussy. She broke up that perfectly good family. What a hussy. She reminds me of, again, the Chris Watts situation, right? There was some pressure coming from her to leave. Hey, you're going to leave your wife. You've been saying you're going to leave your wife. Leave your wife. Ashley Botner. What's up to Astro from space? Thanks for popping on in. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, let's continue.
Most defense lawyers would agree that they would much rather go before a jury.
Before the trial, there are to be hearings for pretrial motions like discovery, where the prosecution turns over evidence they plan on using to the defense, and the defense turns over things like witness lists. After that, both sides interview jurors for the final jury panel.
Each side gets a certain number of strikes, meaning each side can have potential jurors thrown off for any reason, as well as if there is some cause.
I asked Hagel if having a lot of media attention on a case makes it more challenging for both sides.
The stakes are so high. It puts pressure on the prosecution. But for example, I still have a box of the hate mail that I got for representing the defendant.
Scan the QR code to go to our homepage to...
All right, guys, now listen to this. Check this out. I don't know what. Scan the QR code for those people, please. You little hussy. You hussy, you. That shows my age, doesn't it? I did just get a haircut for you guys, though. See? Got a haircut for you. If you like my haircut, hit the like button. If you don't like my haircut, then hit the down button. It's okay, too. All right, let's continue, because I got some things to share with you. All right, let me take a look. Let's start with this family. Let's see what fake book shows. And then I'm going to show you this little hussy. This little hussy's trying to fake her own death, too. You remember the case that we recently covered with Mimi and all the 3 knuckleheads that starved her to death, and we were looking for the mom's boyfriend. We went on Facebook and it said that he had taken his own life. Well, guys, that's what Ashley Botner's doing. She's putting out that she died. There's an obituary. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, you hit the like button. Why do people live in an American dream do this? I'm always wondering. Listen, Mr. Bot, that's why we just broke down the psychology of it. It gave you all the reasons why people keep doing this. And I gotta tell you, a lot of people Jay, is it a ducktail? I don't know. Is that a ducktail? Look at the back. What does it look like? A mohawk, a ducktail? You tell me. Is it combed okay? All right, I don't know. You tell me what that is. Anyway, the American dream is expensive. The American dream makes you be trapped because you got to go in that cycle of bills and keeping up with the Jones. There's a lot of pressure to live the American dream. All right. But in between that, there's a lot of other things psychologically that happen. Mab says Jay got the Mab cut. Yep. Is it a ducktail? What is it? What do you tell me what that is? Just don't have the hair part. Thank you, Tracy. All right, let's look at fake book. So look at this. These are the 2 little girls that were in the house while he shot their mother twice in the head. Okay? You tell me if this is the American dream. All right. Good. They'll always love having conversations. That's what I call them. All right, now let's back out of this. Now, look at this. Ashley Flynn. This is the victim, guys. All right. Yes, I love it. He's living the American scheme. Guys, we're giving away cookies at the end of this, too. Don't forget. We're giving away cookies soon. We have to do it at what? 6 o'clock, Synth? So we've got like 18 minutes. 6 o'clock, we're going to be giving away custom cookies. Yes, poor little girls. All right, now look. It's creepy. I heard Plunder talking about this. She was downloading all the social medias, and there was a picture of Ashley Flynn all by herself, and it changed to a picture of Caleb with Ashley kissing him, looking like they're a happy family, looking like he's a good dad. Okay? Very creepy. Creepy. Now, Ashley Flynn, October 14th, 2025, she's can't be more proud of her 7th grade girl being a cheerleader. You know, they're doing the thing, living the life. We see the pictures. Now, these 2 girls don't have a mother, right? Again, all staged, right? Fake book. You got this picture. Is he really happy? Was he already cheating here? What's going on? Beautiful angels. May they get the justice for their mother they deserve. You look at this picture and you say, why would somebody do that? Oh, I'm sure he changed the page. He has a password. I mean, if your spouse is deceased, you can go on any of their electronics and their stuff will probably be logged in, right? So he went on there and he changed it to make it look like he was a happy little camper. Yeah, the girls too. The girls are right there, guys. The girls are right there. I mean, this is the American dream. If this is the American dream, we don't want it. It looks like they're happy. That's a beautiful young lady. That guy's, decent looking, whatever. Oh, look, sunsets and completely fake book, like I said, right? So we don't know what was going on behind the scenes. We don't know how long that this cheater, monster killer was doing his business with this lady. But what we do know is that he was, and now his 3rd and 4th grader, now they're probably 5th and 6th grade, 2 years later, or 6th and 7th. Now they have no mother and now they have no father. All right. So say a prayer that the justice is served in this case and that whatever comes is going to come to this guy. Now, let me show you. Let's look at the girlfriend's page. She doesn't really have a page necessarily, but let's look at the girlfriend. Let's look up Ashley Botner and see or Leah Botner. I'm sorry. Look at the first thing that comes up, what it says. I was looking for her. Now, listen, guys, that is Aaliyah Botner, and she is, in fact, a worship leader at their church. Okay? In fake book, life is perfect. Now, look, that's the girlfriend, but look what it says. Aaliyah Botner, M/death, Dayton, Ohio. Her obituary. And then in her obituary, it says Caleb Flynn's girlfriend of Christian Life Center tragically passes away. So I'm like, wait a minute. We're looking for Aaliyah Botner. She's the one 23-year-old cheating with Caleb Flynn. She died? What? She didn't die, guys. This is fake. They put this out there as a way to detract. I've seen this recently in the other case. So we go again from pulpit to murder, right? This guy with his wife is not the same right here. That's his girlfriend. This is Aaliyah Botner. That's an article I read you earlier. Again, Ashley deserved better as Caleb awaits trial. All right. They blur out the daughter's face. Aaliyah Botner obituary. Ashley Flynn death. The tragic death of Ashley Flynn. And they're saying now that Aaliyah died too. What? I think she's just trying to get out of all of the twists and turns, and people are certainly blaming her. So I just want you to know that we're praying for Ashley Flynn and her girls. May she rest in peace. And she died for no reason. Okay, guys? There's no reason at all for this. He could have just got a freaking divorce. But instead, he wanted to go into scandal mode and try to regain his youth through this 23-year-old. And this is what you get, right? So, man, what a scandal for their church. I doubt his little mistress is innocent. Hope the church fires her worship leader fast ass. Not very Christian of ya, Aaliyah. Shake my damn head. So this was on February 20th, 5 days ago. People are mad. It's a small town. It's a small church. They know who Aaliyah Botner is, and now they know that Aaliyah was having an affair with Caleb, which resulted in the death of Ashley. All right. So criminal complaint, Miami County, state of Ohio. They took the victim's name out of here, but we got Caleb Flynn, municipal court. This was filed on the 20th. Complaint by individual. Before me, a notary public of the state, a peace officer authorized to administer oaths, or clerk of the Miami County Municipal Court of Troy, Ohio. Came Detective Morgan, who being duly sworn the states of on or about February 16, 2026, 1, Caleb Flynn in the city of Tipp City, county of Miami, state of Ohio, did purposely cause the death of another or the unlawful termination of another's pregnancy. What? Caleb Flynn murdered his wife in the morning of February 16, 2026? Was she pregnant? The cause of death or an unlawful termination of another's pregnancy. Wait, say that again? Mab, am I reading this right? What? Now, the affiant further finds and specifies that the offender had a firearm on or about the offender's person and under the offender's control, and that's why I knew it was a 9mm handgun. 2 shots to the head with a 9mm gun, not good. But what does this mean? Mab, where are you, buddy? Does that mean she was pregnant? This pastor broke so many commandments, he's breaking a world record. Well, you see what's happening here. And it says Caleb Flynn took the life of his wife in the early hours of the morning and ended a pregnancy? Unlawful termination of another's pregnancy. What? I didn't know that. I just saw that right now, which is wild. Good morning. I mean, this is it. The affiant finds specifies that the offender had a firearm on or about 9mm. There it is. I mean, that's it. Does that mean she was pregnant, guys? And what a stark difference he looks from that video earlier where he was saying, bring backpacks for the kids. I'm such a good guy. All right. So again, fake book, money, sex, whatever this guy wanted, he was going to get. All right. Yeah. I mean, you see that? I didn't even know. Some say Ashley was, and some say the girlfriend was. But if the girlfriend was pregnant, how was he being charged for the termination of the pregnancy? So that doesn't make sense to me. All right. And I wonder if they knew they were pregnant. This is just like the Watts case, guys. This is just like the Watts case, except thankfully he did not take the lives of his children. Thank God. All right. Thank the Lord above. All right, let's continue. I don't mind doing these longer streams with you guys. I love it, especially when YouTube's actually working. So, pastor, husband charged in wife's twisted murder. And there's other ones that are out, but this one is what I really want to go through with you. So listen, if you just got here, don't worry. You're about to hear everything, and you can go back and rewatch. All right, guys, hit that like button. We're giving cookies away in 9 minutes, Synth. So we'll stop this when we need to, okay? We'll stop this, and we'll give away the cookies, all right? Chooch. Exactly. Maybe Ashley was. They're saying the wife was pregnant. That's what I'm saying. So that's an additional charge. So, and then we see the secondary or third motive, right? We got a pregnancy. Number one death of a pregnant woman is by her husband during pregnancy. Did you know that statistically the rate goes up of a pregnant woman being killed? Did you know that? I bet you didn't, because I didn't until recently. All right, what is up, Smoking? Thank you for the Guilty of Crime membership. You guys, if you want to drop his link, Smoking, you want to drop your link? Drop it, my guy. This guy has a channel, and it's very motivating. All right, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. All right, let's continue. We've got, we get to listen to him cry some more in complete sentences, and we're doing a cookie giveaway. Right? The cookie giveaway includes a Crying Caleb soundtrack. And even though we're doing true crime, we don't have to make everything so upsetting. And I know some people...
Miami County 911.
I know some people don't understand that, and they'll come into my chat. If you're new here, guys, and you say, why is this lady smiling when we're talking about the death of... Well, because we're presenting true crime, but we don't need to be miserable, and misery loves company, and we're not miserable. So we enjoy our company with each other while we tell these true crime stories. And what's better than giving stuff away? No, that's the thing, Kristen. He didn't kill the girlfriend, but they're faking her death online because people are coming after her in the town and saying that she should also be charged with murder. And you'll see why in a minute. All right. He was texting her that morning incessantly over and over and over. Right. Free stuff is the best stuff. Not always, HB. Sometimes I get free stuff. I'm like, why did I even bring that junk home? We don't give out junk on Guilty of Crime. Just saying.
Oh my God, somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
New 911 audio behind the alleged bombshell twist that seemingly no one in a tiny Ohio town would have expected.
My wife, she got 2 shots to her head.
An arrest in the case of a beloved mom, coach, and wife.
And again, right then and there, the dispatcher had to have been like, wait a minute, how in the heck can he say she has 2 shots to the head? Guys, if I could recreate this, there's a lot of channels that do that when they're doing ballistics, and they have these these rubber things that have like slime inside, and they'll show you what a 9mm would do to your actual head, and then take 2 9mm shots to the head and see what happens to a head. That's what happened to this lady. Okay, so I mean, it looks like she was pregnant now that we're looking at the charges. Oh, yeah. Says you're so good at this, Jay. And yes, we do. That's why I watch. Y'all are great. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I guess it's just a natural talent. All right. Let's go. That's what I want to know. Let's go. Buckle up, buckle in, grab your drink, grab your snack. You're here with me for another like 30 minutes. And we're about to do a giveaway as soon as Synth says so. All right, let's go.
Shot dead in the middle of the night. Police initially said that she was the victim of an apparent burglary that turned violent. Or was she? The man so many people swore would never do something like this is now under arrest and charged with her murder.
So I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not at risk. I
understand.
Her husband. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
All right, so y'all are going to get the lowdown. If you just rolled in, perfect. If you've been here, perfect, because you're going to get more of the details. All right. Mab says I covered it right after it happened, so I didn't know. And you know what, Mab? Also, I wanted to tell you when you covered it, you didn't get the audience that you needed to, in my opinion, because of the way you labeled it. The name of it and the cover didn't tell us what you were covering. Now, I knew, but you and I need to get together, buddy, so we can get your channel up and popping. All right. I want more people in your chat at all times. All right. What's up, Kim? I'm glad I found the site. Thank you for the energy. You're very welcome. All right. Let's roll.
Think about it.
What are you seeing?
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere.
It sounds like he said she got 3 shots to the head. I got to put this on the subtitles, and I got to slow this down because I swear you could see the shots to her head, but he's very specific.
Right. Think about it.
What are you seeing?
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Sir, please,
Ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath, okay? Do you still see anybody in the house?
No, the door to the garage was wide open. Please hurry, please. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. My daughters are here. My daughters are here.
Where's she at?
She's in the bed. She's in the bed.
Are you with her?
Yeah, I am in the room. I'm looking at her. Yes, please.
Okay. You guys have the door locked?
We have the doors to the garage locked, but into the house. Yes, please. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I mean, this guy can't even get that right, guys. So, I mean, he's way too oddly specific. You thought you heard that? Yeah, I thought I heard that too, but it was 2. And in fact, they did find 2 spent shell casings there. So just pop. 2 of them went in the head. Shell casing came out of the gun, and he just left those mugs there. Right? Didn't go anywhere. Called 911. Damn. Thank you, Kel. Good to see you. Losers, all I hear. He lost American Idol, and now he's losing his entire life. Smoking. See, you would know. I'm sure you're a gun collector, owner. You know how to use weapons. Anybody here that knows how to use weapons can tell you that you would not be able to tell somebody that there were 2 shots to the head under those circumstances. All right? Because what a 9mm would do to your head, you wouldn't be able to count that. You wouldn't even know. It's crazy. Yeah, in the words of Simon Cowell, that was absolutely a disgusting performance. Next. All right. What's up, Truth Seeker Jacqueline? How you doing?
Where's that room out in the house? My partner's getting them dispatched, okay? But I need you to answer my questions so I can get you help as fast as I can, okay?
What question?
Where are you guys at in the house?
I'm in the bedroom with her right now.
Okay.
My daughters are in their room.
So you are not with the children?
I was with the children when it happened.
Okay, but you're not with them now?
No, they're in their room. They're not even awake. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
So there you see.
Yeah, Mab. I mean, here's the thing. You would have to literally move her hair out of the way to trace the bullets. And again, Mab, you know, it depends how far. If it was more execution style, it's going to do a lot more damage than if he were a foot or 3 feet away. But you'd literally have to go in and like move her hair out of the way and get through the blood and the skin in order to actually see that there are 2 shots. Too specific. Yeah, and what was he doing in their room? Right away, he goes straight to it. All right, Sin says, winner, winner, chicken dinner. It's time now. All right, we're going to come back to this, guys, but we're going to give away some cookies, some personalized cookies. And Synth is going to give those away, but I need to pull this up for y'all because she has a birthday to attend. It's her man's birthday. It's her husband's birthday, and we're going to celebrate her husband Kevin's birthday by giving you guys cookies from Synth's cookie shop that she makes. All right, so let me just pull this up. You guys make sure you're in the green and hit the like button. You have a really good chance of winning today since there's not a ton of people here. All right, let's go. We're going to do that, and then I promise, guys, we're going to hop right back into the episode. There's 111 people. I'm looking at 111 right now, and that's an angel number. Happy birthday, Kevin, and may this family get the justice they deserve. All right? All right, I'm going to pull this down, and I promise we'll get right back to it. All I got to do is give away some cookies and say happy birthday, Kevin. We're here for you, buddy. All right, let's go. First person to be in the green in the United States wins. All right, and we'll get right back to the show, I promise. Pinky promise. Pinky promise. I actually do pinky promises, and I take them very seriously, by the way. My girl, Kel. Please tell me that you have a membership. You do. And Kel said, happy birthday, Kevin. All right, girl, you just got it. You can't help it. You can't even help just strolling on, meandering on in and winning something. There you go. Kel won those cookies. Please reach out to Synth. Let's get back to this.
See, there's a little confusion on the line about where the children are in the home and where he is in the house. And he says that the children are still asleep, even though their mom had been shot by someone he says came into the home and then escaped. It really stands out to me that he is not running into their room to go check on them. And he just says they're still asleep. Here's what he said about where Ashley is.
All right, and so now we're digging deeper into the small details and the lies that we're going to start to see in court. Kel, you're awesome. You meandered on in at the perfect time. And you know what, Dakche? I think I'm saying that right. Dakche, 111. You say my numbers. I see them every day. And you were brought to my channel with all of us. So welcome to the crime crew. Thank you for coming. Love it. I love that you guys do that. Yes, what a total superficial, shallow idiot. All right, congratulations again. Reach out to Synth at synth.server@gmail.com. Let's continue.
He says she's dead in the bed.
Are you hearing anything?
No, I rubbed her leg and said her name. She's not answering.
Okay. Your daughter's not answering you?
I'm sorry, no. Hold on, I'm putting on my shirt. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Your daughter's not answering you?
No, they're across the room. Okay. In their room.
Okay. Are you hearing any kind of noise inside the house?
No, her face is, oh sir, her face is white as good gold.
Now listen, guys, listen to what he's saying and not saying. There's no care in the world for the safety of his children right now, which would not be true if you just had a robbery happen where your wife was shot twice in the head. You would be in their room with them, or they'd be right by you. You would go out, flee out of the house to make sure that the guy's, he's not concerned with that at all. Why? Because he did it. Okay, so start thinking about those things. We're becoming detectives, becoming YouTube sleuths every day. All right. And every time you hear some shit like this, you're going to say, no, I just saw that. No, this is not how it is. This is how it is. By the way, guys, Sebastian Rogers went missing the same day that Madeline Soto did. So tomorrow we're going to do a tribute to Sebastian. I hope that you guys can come here and be with us tomorrow night. As much as I want to cover anything else, I have the utmost respect for Madeline Soto and Sebastian Rogers, two of the biggest cases ever, and the fact that Sebastian's still missing and Maddie's case has been finalized. Sherry is my first time here. I wanted the newest info and I loved your live. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I love good reviews. Thank you.
Okay, whose face?
My wife's face.
Your wife's face?
The one, yes, the one who was shot.
She was what?
Shot, I said.
Okay, where was she shot at?
In the head. I hope there's blood everywhere.
Okay, is she breathing?
I don't think so. Ashley, baby, please. Oh my God, no, she's not.
Okay, she's not responding to you?
No.
Police believe what you're hearing in this recording is allegedly an act. That this
110%. It appears like he's afraid of her not wanting to check her pulse or see her breathing. He absolutely didn't want to see her face. Of course, he probably freaking threw a towel over it or shot her from behind. We don't even know what the autopsy's going to say yet. That's going to give us 1,000 more reasons to hate this monster when we find out where she was shot. Because if we find out that she was shot in the back of the head, execution style, that is so much worse than, or is it, her looking at you and knowing that the man that you had children with and for all these years is taking your life? Would it be better for you to be not to see who it was? Would it be better or would it be worse? That's what I want to know. Mo, I'll tell you this, it's watermelon again. It's watermelon Red Bull. I drink any Red Bull. I don't care what flavor it is. Whatever's in the fridge, I drink it. And bad at that. Yeah. All right, let's continue.
This is the person who shot and killed his wife. That is what he is being accused of. It is interesting that he knows the specific amount of shots that hit his wife. And also notice how he doesn't directly go in to check on the kids. Then at the end of this part of the recording, police arrive.
What do I do?
Is she breathing at all?
I don't think so. There's 2 shots to her head.
Okay. If you are comfortable, I want you to go and find a cloth, and I want you to put a cloth on that gunshot wound, okay?
Like a towel?
Yes, like a towel, but do not apply direct pressure to it. Just put it on that blood wound, okay?
Okay. Oh my God.
I need you to just take a deep breath for me, okay?
Okay.
Just get that cloth, and I want you to put it on that wound, but don't apply direct pressure.
Now, pay attention to this because he's asking for him to put, and I don't think he does it at all. Maybe he throws a rag on top to make it look like he's doing it, but he knows he just took her life, and he knows that he does not want to see her head blown open. All right. So he's very apprehensive. You can tell, like, okay, I touched her leg. If that were my wife, I wouldn't give 2 shits what kind of skin or blood or gunk got on me. I'd be hugging her till the last moment, trying to do whatever I could. And this guy's doing the opposite, right? He played himself. You don't pass go and you don't collect $200 and you don't get away with it. Right? Red Bull gives you wings, Deb.
Okay, they're coming to you as quick as they can, okay?
I just laid it on her head.
Okay. Where are the juveniles? Are they okay? Have you checked on them?
I haven't checked on them.
Okay. Can you go check on the juveniles for me?
Right then and there, guys. Right then and there. You got that right. Foolish boy. That is, again, this is why people like Katie Proudfoot and Chris Proudfoot don't call 911. This is why Jen Soto didn't call 911. This is why many people don't call 911 when they committed the crime, because it's used in your freaking trial. All right, what's up, my girl Tiff? Go pick her up. We got this.
The police is here.
Okay. Can you go check on the juveniles for me?
Wait, the cops just pulled. They just left. They just left.
An intruder just came in. You got 2 small kids. Your wife's down, 2 shots to the head, and you haven't checked on them?
Okay, I need you to go check on the juveniles for me, okay?
No.
They're still sleeping. They're still sleeping.
Okay, you still see them breathing? You don't see any wounds on them?
No. The cops just pulled. Sir. The cop is here.
Okay, I want you to... Okay, open the door for him so he can get into her, okay?
Okay, he's running. He's coming to me. Sir. What? I don't know. The door to the garage door was wide open. I'm her husband.
Now listen, he's completely just setting up an alibi for himself. I was in my kid's room when it happened. Well, what is it that happened, sir? Later on, he goes to explain that there's a robbery, but everything about this says he did it, right? Then he gets all enthused about the police. Go get one, honey. Go get one. It helps. Ecuador celebrating Carnival. Please let me know if you got it. My internet sometimes. I will definitely let you know. All right, let's continue. Thank you.
No, I don't think so.
Any murder case is shocking, but it always stands out to me when you look into someone's background and it appears they have never really been in trouble with the law before. And that appears to be the case with Caleb Flynn, former pastor, former American Idol contestant, a dad, and a husband.
And that's a picture he put up, by the way. I don't think that they were getting along at all. As a matter of fact, it might come out that either A, she was seeking a divorce after she found out he was cheating, or B, it was just she didn't know anything. He's acting weird. She's pregnant. Either way, he wanted her gone, and he wanted law enforcement and the world to think that they were like this in their relationship. All right. If you like pina coladas, why you guys got that?
Now accused of murder. I looked him up with truthfinder.com, and it doesn't appear that he has any sort of criminal record. He has a couple traffic tickets, but that's it. No, we use Truthfinder here at Law and Crime.
Yeah. So do
it
we.
Appears to be exactly who Ashley was, the way that she lived, a way where she always put others first. She was a substitute teacher in the public school system. She was also a 7th grade volleyball coach. And on top of that, she was an active volunteer at her church. And that's why police initially said that it appeared that Ashley was the victim of an alleged burglary that went wrong, that turned violent, that something happened in this home and this person that broke in to take something out of their house had a gun and shot Ashley. Part of the evidence.
But didn't take anything. No forced entry. We're going to hear all about that right now. Guys, if you just rolled in, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're leaving, hit the like button on your way out. And if you get the chance to hype any of my videos that you find worthy, please do hype them. All right. A victim of DV. And I wonder now if he heard gunshots, wouldn't he go running out to see what the heck was going on? Exactly. I'd be running toward that. And you're right. I'd have my own in my hand too. And I'd be rushing to help my wife while making sure the children were right by me. But he didn't do any of that. He shouldn't have even made that call. Let's hear what he says about the break-in.
That investigators pointed to were the signs of forced entry into the Flynn's home, but they haven't been specific of what that entry looks like. You heard in the 911 call that the garage door was open. In the words of the Tipp City police chief on Monday, as everyone was coming to grips with what had happened, this was, quote, a burglary gone wrong. Police rushed to the scene. They actually put up drones. They enlisted the help of...
All right, that gives you a good idea now, because there are people that came in here that are like, hey, I'm right around the area, or I know that town. This kind of stuff doesn't happen there. So it gives you an idea. I love when they show the maps and we can see where the crimes occurred and etc. Right? I'm in Cali, so I don't know anything about any of this. But you know what I do know, and I hope I can get it. Remember I showed you guys the SWAT footage yesterday? We had a SWAT team across the street. When we looked up, there was a drone hovering above us. So I really hope that we're able to get that footage from the drone. And it only reminded me because they're talking about drones. All right. Anyway, let's continue. This is where it occurred. All right. This is Ohio, Tipp City.
Canines to try and track down this person who came into the house, allegedly killed Ashley, and then fled. But there was no sight of a bad guy, no scent picked up by the dogs. Now, let's talk about this marriage, because Ashley and Caleb appeared to be a loving couple. It's cliche, but they were the perfect couple. In fact, look at Ashley's Facebook picture. The two of them on the
Nope. And you guys have to know that that Facebook picture was changed in the middle of Plunder downloading all the stuff. It went from a picture of her to them. All right. Shout out from New York. Well, shout out from Cali to New York. What's up?
water. There are several pictures of them as this happy family raising their daughters in the town where Ashley grew up. Caleb, he appeared to be a man of faith. He was once a worship leader and also a musician at the church where Ashley was also once on staff. He and Ashley are graduates of Lee University in Tennessee, which is a private Christian college. It appears that's where they met. Now, Caleb also is apparently quite the musician. In fact, in 2013, he auditioned on American Idol. And I bring that up not just because it's shocking.
He's a loser. Let's get used to it. He lost American Idol. He lost his whole family. He lost his young booty. He's a loser, period. And he can't handle it.
Shocking that someone who was featured on the show would be accused of this. But according to the Dayton Daily News, on the episode where he tries out, and they did a little part of the episode where they interviewed him, he is quoted as saying, quote, "I love my wife more than anything. She is very, very pretty. I love her." But now, Caleb Flynn, the same man on American.
Now, remember, if you were here at the beginning of this show, you heard him actually say this on the show. And it was very superficial what he was talking about. And the fact that, well, if my wife dyed her hair blonde, she'd look like this other girl. His wife was damn pretty. What was the problem? This guy's going on in their church. Man, I'm telling you, it's west of Dayton. All right, Kim. I don't know. I don't know where Dayton is. I don't know where Cleveland to Dayton to whatever. I just know this is in Ohio.
Idol, who talked about how much he loved his wife, is accused of her murder. It is so hard to make sense of it, even though we have seen cases, unfortunately, where family violence like this takes place. Now, I just got my hands on the court filings for this case this morning. Here's the criminal complaint. We'll talk a little bit more about what that tells us here in just a moment. But following Ashley's murder, the other shocking part of this is just how much the community seemed to rally around her family. And
do you guys want to see them in church? There's literally those two cheaters on the stage singing together at church, having an affair, all while allegedly his wife is taking care of the two kids and pregnant. Man, guys, this is I've got to show you this. I'm going to stop. I'm just going to pull this down for a second because it's important that I document all this. So when I get back to it, we'll be able to find it. I'll have it documented. Caleb Flynn. Here's a video of Caleb Flynn and his alleged girlfriend singing together at their church. Let's listen in.
An empty grave is there.
So I want you to see that, what they're showing, okay? So this is the Caleb Flynn, the one that allegedly took his wife's life. And I believe this is the girlfriend, but that's what they're trying to show us. Video of Caleb and alleged girlfriend singing together at their church.
My Savior lives.
Can you guys see it?
Because you live, I can
This is terrible, but it sounds good, and I'd be like, oh, that's cool, but that's him on stage with his girlfriend that he's going to probably weeks later take the life of his wife and unborn child for her. And I'll show you real quick because I was like, which one is it? Which one is it? Oh, it's the one that's faking her death. Let me show you here. I also found another one that says she passed away. All right, so Caleb Flynn's girlfriend, Leah Botner. All right, it says death, Dayton, Ohio, obituary. Caleb Flynn's girlfriend of Christian Life Center tragically passed away. She didn't. This is not true, but that is her. She is also a worship leader like he was. All right, so they're putting out fake info on this. She didn't die. All right, I don't know why they do that. But now this is the second time I've seen it. Another case. The girlfriend was 23 years old, or she is 23. She's still alive. All right, let's continue.
Specifically, Caleb. A GoFundMe was launched
Read.
with this picture showing the entire family, including Caleb. And the caption included, quote, please pray for her husband and 2 daughters. The focus, as far as the community was concerned, it didn't appear to be on Caleb. It was on finding this person who he said broke into the home and killed his wife. But then on Wednesday, the local chief, the same person who said that this had appeared to be a burglary gone wrong, called in some help from the FBI. And that appears to be when a lot of things changed. So this chief releases a statement, and it caught our attention because they hadn't released a lot of information, but he called Ashley's murder targeted.
And again, right, we've heard this time and time again. As a matter of fact, the whole rest of the world that's not in our chat tonight is watching a case called Nancy Guthrie and Savannah Guthrie, where the world is watching, right? Where they also call it a targeted act. And they tell the public that we don't have anything to worry about. What does that mean? I know what it means, but I'm just...
And he also said he did not believe that the public was in danger. It's always interesting when law enforcement uses language like that, because if a man broke into the Flynn home and shot and killed Ashley Flynn and then fled and was still at large, why would the public not be in danger? Unless no one broke in at all.
Exactly.
Police are not releasing a lot of information still, but it is...
Again, there are multiple masked men out there in the Nancy Guthrie case, and law enforcement tells them, you have nothing to worry about. Nobody's in danger. Don't worry. This is a targeted, isolated incident. Guys, they've got to have something coming in close or waiting for this DNA test to come back. There's got to be more coming soon in that case. Because in this case, I'm glad it's going so quickly. But in that case, it's like, it's terrible reporting. It's like they're lying to us.
It is unclear where the murder weapon was and what the forced entry into the house looked like. Many wondered why Ashley was the one who confronted the person Caleb told authorities had entered the house. Where was he when all of this went down? Why was she the one who confronted this alleged burglary?
Now, listen, they don't get into much details about the girlfriend at all on any of these episodes that you're going to see. So the Micah Miller situation and with the wife, we have no idea yet about domestic violence or abuse. I just simply haven't seen any of that. So I don't know. And but I do know that he had only been fooling around with allegedly the girlfriend for a couple of months. All right. The law enforcement has all of the text messages. I feel like law enforcement had evidence from the start that it was the husband, right?
Now, Thursday night, Caleb Flynn was booked into the county jail just after 5 o'clock local time, and he is facing 1 count of homicide, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence. So here's the criminal complaint, and it alleges that Caleb shot Ashley with a 9mm handgun. Again, it's unclear whether law enforcement have the murder weapon or there were shell cases where they were able to determine that. The alleged murder happened in the early morning hours of Monday, but it is unclear specifically when and how soon after the alleged murder did Caleb call 911. What did he do in that amount of time? Because we know it's being alleged that he tried to cover up the crime scene. The 2 felonious assault charges appear to be for the amount of bullets fired. there's an autopsy of Ashley that is still pending. And the criminal complaint says, in plain letters, that Caleb tried to lead officers astray by staging the crime scene. Flynn made his first court appearance in Ohio Friday morning.
Mr. Flynn, you have...
By the way, he did a terrible job. I think law enforcement right from the get-go knew what was happening, but they didn't arrest him right away. And I'm trying to look. One of you guys sent me earlier something about the David case, which I've been following, the David and Celeste saga. Breaking news, David suspected of murder in the death. Court documents reveal. Wow, he is the target of the investigation, guys. So they're finally going to get a grand jury. They've already targeted David, and it sounds like they're going to charge him. That's great news, guys. They finally named a suspect, and the suspect is in fact D4VD. Wow. That's awesome. You guys been following that with me? Anyway, let's continue. I'll show you at the end. You want to know what it is? Okay. All right. I love you guys. I do it because I love you guys. All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll do a breaking news real quick. All right, because I do what you guys want me to, but hit the like button for me, please. All right, look at finally breaking news. David is suspected of the murder in the Celeste case. Documents are revealed from the court. Now,
30 breaking news.
Listen, I've been covering this case since the beginning. And if you go back to my playlist about David and Celeste, I told you that they were going to have a convene with the grand jury in February and that there would be some more activity. And there, in fact, is. They're finally naming a suspect.
Newly unsealed court records in connection to the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez reveal that singer David is now being investigated for her murder. Those documents also provide horrifying new details in this case.
KTLA's Aaron Myers live in our newsroom with more on this breaking story. Aaron.
This is just a couple of minutes. Are you guys okay with some breaking news? I have been covering the David case. It's not like I haven't. I've got a whole playlist. So let's just take a look at the breaking news and I'll put you right back to it. All right. I'll put you right back to finish what we're doing. Are you guys all right with that? Okay.
Court documents made public in the alleged homicide of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez reveal gruesome new details about the death of the teenager, identifying the singer David as the investigation's central target.
The documents were made public through Texas appellate proceedings and are tied to the Los Angeles County grand jury murder investigation targeting singer David Burke. Private investigator Steve Fisher posted the documents on his X account. The documents were filed under seal but were made public after the singer's family challenged subpoenas compelling them to testify before a California grand jury. Los Angeles Magazine says the proceedings in Texas weren't sealed, so portions of the California filings were available in the Texas.
TikTok mother trucker. TikTok. Oh, TikTok. He knew the clock was ticking back in December when they were planning to have the grand jury. They know that. I'm pretty sure he knows that his little boyfriend Neo flipped, from what I hear, and he's gonna tell all of it. I'm telling you, they're gonna give Neo a deal that's gonna get him off scot-free, and they're gonna put this on David. This is really good news, guys.
Appellate docket. Hernandez's remains were found in September of last year inside the front trunk of a Tesla registered to the singer David at a tow yard in Hollywood. Employees contacted police after noticing a strong odor coming from the car. The filing showed detectives found a cadaver bag containing human remains along with other body parts in a second bag. The documents also identify Burke as the target of the grand jury investigation, saying he may be involved in one count of murder. The singer's father, mother, and brother, who live in Texas, were summoned to testify in Los Angeles on February 11th. But David's father filed a petition for writ of habeas corpus, saying the subpoena violated his constitutional due process rights.
Yep, I was following that behind the scenes where the dad said, I'm not doing this. I'm not testifying against my own child.
His lawyers claim he was denied due process because he did not get full, unredacted copies of California certification documents, and that portions establishing why his testimony was material and necessary were withheld, according to the Los Angeles Magazine. In the documents, detectives say David and his father have a close relationship. The Texas First Court of Appeals rejected the petition, according to Los Angeles Magazine, telling the family they had until yesterday to file additional appeals.
The Court of Appeal in Texas was very clear in telling David's mother.
Guys, he's screwed. If he gets caught up, if they do this in Texas and they don't, I think they're going to extradite him back to Los Angeles. But if they were to charge him in Texas, he's looking at the death penalty at this case. Now, if he comes back to Cali, you know how we are in California, right? We don't do anything. All right, I'm waiting about the case. He should have been in jail. Yes, and Psychic Amelia, the last episode, I told you guys, movement, as soon as the grand jury convened and they got Neo, you were going to see this case moving fast. And it did. And I'm so glad. I'm glad. It's good news. I know we're celebrating, but what? They went out. Yeah, they had cadaver bags already because they were using in a video shoot. Yeah, Texas don't play. So I'm sure they're going to extradite him back to California because that's where the crime was committed.
His father and his brother, that they must appear in front of the grand jury in California. They found that their information would be both material and necessary in terms of this investigation.
As of now, it does not look like anything new was filed in court before the deadline. So David's family.
So cool, guys. Breaking news. That's awesome. They're looking at him. They better not let him go anywhere. They literally just confirmed that there was a body bag with parts in it. Now, they did lie to us originally and said, that's a lie. That's a lie. That didn't happen. She wasn't even dismembered. I mean, so many things. Now we know. And it's starting to come out. And hopefully we start getting some redactions out too. All these people crashing out and ruin their lives. And I don't get it. I don't get it either. I mean, all I could think about, guys, is the end of days, right? In the Bible, the end of days are now. And I'm not like this religious person, but if you read the Bible, if you ever studied the Bible or read it or anything, these are end of days right now, right here. So love your children, hug your loved ones, pay attention to them and do the best you can because tomorrow's not promised. And this world is just crazy, guys. All right, let's get back to this guy that wanted to be a superstar. And this is all he's going to get, his last 15 minutes of fame.
Several charges here. Count 1 is a murder charge, is a count felony of the first degree. Count 2 is 2 and 3 are both felonious assault charges, second degree felonies. Count 4 is tampering with evidence, a third degree felony. And that's count 4. Count 5 is tampering with evidence, a third degree felony. Mr. Falker?
Now, guys, we believe in this case, the motive is absolutely the girlfriend. And then obviously the financial part of him not wanting to change, to get rid of any of his assets or money. And then we just found out that he terminated the pregnancy as well. So that means he's going to have even more charges on top of the charges that he has because the life of a baby was taken. Again, like the Chris Watts case. I agree. All right, we already heard this.
Whatsoever, directly or indirectly through a third party with
these people out here.
You are not permitted to speak to them in any way, shape, or form. That includes electronic communications. You are not allowed to communicate through family members whatsoever. You understand all of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. We're adjourned. Thank you, sir.
He pleaded not guilty to the charges. His bond was set at $2 million, and he will be on electronic monitoring and house arrest if he's able to post bond. And you saw the emotion there when
he's not going to post bond. There's no way he's going to get out. There's no way he's going to come up with even a fraction of $2 million. Not 10%, not 2%.
He's told he will not be allowed to have contact with his children. Now, the celebration of Caleb's wife, his alleged victim, Ashley Flynn, is scheduled for Sunday afternoon. It's at the same church where they used to both be on staff. And now it's a place where a community is coming together. Many who, by the way, stood by Caleb when accusations from the outside started coming in, when you saw people who cover true crime cases and say, well, I've seen this story before because it had to have been the husband. But there were so many people in Tipp City, Ohio that said that would not be the case here. But how could anybody suspect a loving husband, a loving father, a man of faith to eventually be accused of what Caleb is now being accused of? Sadly, in this case, what happened is what we have seen in a lot of family violence cases, where a husband or a significant other is accused of taking the life of the person they appeared to be closest to and loved the most. As law enforcement continues to piece their case together, there are a lot of rumors online, but we don't officially know yet what the motive is, why this dad, this husband, would allegedly kill his wife in the middle of the night and then stage it all as a break-in turned violent. Joining us now once again to talk about this case is retired police commander Mike King, the host of Profiling Evil and also the host of Gardens of Evil Inside the Zion Society Cult, which we'll talk about a little bit more, which I actually just started listening to, which has been a great listen. We were talking about this case earlier this week when this story broke, and it was, according to police, it appeared to be in their words, burglary gone wrong. And there were signs of forced entry. And then I know we were looking at kind of the neighborhood and what it could mean. And in these cases, I feel like you just see like a lot of the commenters say, well, it's got to be the husband, but everybody swore it would not be. And now he is facing a charge of murder. And it's like, I'm kind of long-winded in talking about this because like it's always shocking when it happens. But then at the same time, you sit back and you see it over and over and over again. And it's like in your career, I mean, what is it about these cases that seem to be, and we don't know the motive yet, but how these things actually happen?
Thank you guys.
Chris, it's so interesting because you and I talked about this.
Again, we don't know the motive. And if you were to watch any other episodes, they're not even naming the girlfriend right now. And my apologies, guys. Baby Guilty's having one of those days. We'll all get through it. All right, yeah, this guy's sick, but I do love I freaking love Mike King. So let's listen to this. Yeah, the Teppy case. All right, let's continue.
Offline when we talked a few days ago about the probability that it's that inner circle, and we kind of touched on it when we spoke in the last episode, and I hope people would go back and listen to that one because we really explored this idea that statistically, when there is someone who lives a low risk lifestyle, and Ashley Flynn certainly seemed to fit that bill. She left her teaching job, she went home to be a stay-at-home mom, but worked a little part-time.
Now remember, this is Mike King from Profiling Evil, and they couldn't have got a better person to do that. And my pastor calls me Mish. I think the girl absolutely knew because she was in church with them. But the thing is, she is really young, and we wouldn't want her to, lose her life or something like that because she was a cheater. But she had to have known because they're married for what, 16 years with 2 children, all in the same church. I cannot give her a freebie pass, but I don't want anyone going after her. Hashtag poontang.
At the local school where she coached. But again, all of that is representative of someone living a low risk lifestyle. She had a close circle of friends. She was active in her church. And all of that, again, low risk. And statistically, what we've learned after looking at thousands of violent crimes, especially in intimate homicide crimes like this one appeared, that when someone who is low risk dies, the first thing you have to consider is whether they were a target of whatever that event was, that homicide. And she was shot, which is very, very personal and up close. And statistically, when someone who's low risk is killed, and if they are targeted, then it's usually by someone who is known to them or knows who they are. So it could be as far reaching as a predator who's peeking through the window and creating this fantasy in their mind that they have a relationship. But you have to look inward. And we talked about how you start in this.
And again, he's talking about moving inward at this point. This guy had just been arrested. We hadn't looked into really anything else. So I dug in and said, what's going on with this dude? It's got to be more to it. So again, nobody's named the girlfriend on social media or on these Law and Crime or any of those. You're only going to get that here or if you do the research for yourself. But yeah, the motive is simply poontang. Every younger woman knows to stay away from married men. Thank you. Yes. You can't, I don't want anything bad to happen to her, but there's no way that that girl didn't know that she was messing with the married man that had 2 children. They were at the same church. All right. All right, with those texts, that's another thing. Zulikowski is the text messages they have between the two is almost telling that that's happening that day. We're almost there. So she might just get brought into it. What's up? But she'll be for the prosecution. They will use and abuse her in the prosecution.
Center, and you start building outward. And yet, nonetheless, it still is so troubling, especially when you think of domestic violence homicide,
Man.
which is now being
His voice is so low. I can't
charged
turn it up.
of how that could happen. Now, someone could go from having seemingly reportable, wonderful marriage to the point of murder.
And it's one of those things too where it
Fake
just
book.
doesn't seem like people saw this one coming. You know, no criminal record from what I can see for Caleb Flynn. The GoFundMe that was raising money for the family. I mean, they have a great community that was.
I forgot about that. They put a GoFundMe in the name of Caleb Flynn, and then he got arrested. All right, let's continue. Yeah, she knew he was married. She was a cheater, but she didn't pull the trigger. But she could have told him, don't do that. We don't know. The law enforcement has seen the text messages and they know. And obviously she's not arrested, so they'll probably just use her as a witness.
Around them, like, you know, pictures of him and like the money to help him raise these 2 daughters who are now without their mom. And like to you know, we don't know the details as of yet of like what cracked this case. But I want to talk about the investigation and part of it. Tipp City, Ohio, small community. They called in the FBI to help. And I'm sure it is very difficult to trick the FBI, you know, and it appears that there was some sort of sign of forced entry. So, and he's accused of staging the crime scene. Let's step back and kind of talk about, I think first, the geography of the neighborhood. And when you approach this case and some of now knowing what we know and what's being alleged, how that kind of factors into all of this.
Oh, I'm really glad you brought that up because I actually love to talk about the geography. I'm going to pull up something on the screen here for us to share and talk about as I go through this. But what I think is so important
I don't know why. I mean, it's this whole episode of Law and Crime, guys. As soon as Mike King comes on, the volume is bad. I apologize.
these kinds of cases is that we do examine the geography to kind of see if the stories actually fit. So I'm going to just play this little clip while we're talking here that I created this morning, but this is the neighborhood we're talking about. This is the location of the home. We talked earlier about the fact that this home is on a secluded street. There was really only one true way in without having to wind through some streets. And we're kind of outlining that as we look at this.
Yeah.
So when we think about someone having to know this specific location, a secondary route, okay,
It
we
is.
can live with that. But the thing that gets so important and interesting is when we think about this being staged.
Yeah, I can't go. I could just pull off of this if you want, but on the profiling evil part, I can hear him because I have it turned all the way up with my headphones. You guys want me to just go past this? I can't. It won't get any higher, Joanne. I'm sorry.
The suspect had to go somewhere after him. We
Here,
know
I'll
that
put
police were
this up.
serving these searches that they were doing with dogs and drones. And so we have this big field that in our last episode, we talked about being so important. But as you kind of pan back to give people around the world who are watching an idea where this happened, this is what's important. I just tried to simulate what a Ring camera view shed would look like or a doorbell camera view shed would look like in that neighborhood. And so
Yeah.
as police were investigating this case, they had to immediately start with ideas like, is it possible that someone could have come into this neighborhood undetected? And when you think about the massive number of people who have
That's
doorbell
right.
cameras, for instance, then we start seeing things that say, well, that doesn't make sense because nobody's out walking along the street. Then you talk about the actual staging.
Now, listen, guys, it's going to get so much harder for criminals to not get caught nowadays when you have this kind of technology, period. Even if they hadn't arrested Caleb Flynn just yet, when you start looking at stuff like the map and each house having a camera and a camera on top and a camera from there and then you got your Alexa in the house that goes on whenever she wants and who knows what it's recording. These criminals are basically might as well just commit a crime and then walk up and let them handcuff them, because you know what? It just doesn't. Look at that. I mean, how could you get away with something like that when you start to statistically break these things down? You're not gonna be able to get away with
Which I
it.
think we'll get into, and that's where law enforcement really starts to say, wait a minute, the story's not adding up.
And I think too, and it's thank you for putting that together, because it's just like a fascinating look into how law enforcement, here's this story from this husband who says his wife was just shot in the house, and then you start asking questions about it, and then you look at it from a view that I don't think a lot of suspects probably think about. They think, if he broke down a door, or that was the sign of forced entry, maybe a window, he might be thinking about that. But then looking at, well, what way would they have gotten into the neighborhood? Which, what does the field tell us? Like, how often have you found that some of these suspects in cases where they're accused of staging crime scenes, they're not thinking on the 40,000 foot level that the FBI and law enforcement may?
You're right on, because the idea is that if in fact this is all true, the husband is now accused. If it's
Now remember, right out of the gate, guys, doesn't matter if he did it or not. This guy is going to be the number one prime suspect, period. That's just the deal. Yeah, we have cameras, phones, tracking devices, everything. All right. But bottom line, you're automatically the prime suspect when a wife or husband goes missing or is killed, right? So there's another thing that you point out. Why would he have done it like that and so sloppy?
true, he would have spent a great deal of time probably fantasizing about how he was going to solve this problem and we don't know for sure what the problem was yet, other than he didn't want Ashley around anymore, if it's all
Exactly.
true. And when they start fantasizing and working through this process, a couple of things kind of interesting jump out to me in this case. Number one, if his wife is shot and killed in their home, not only does he get rid of a potential problem that he hasn't figured out how to get rid of otherwise through legitimate means, which
And if she's pregnant, now he's got an even worse problem. Now I would get away with it because I know how. LOL, but I would never. If she was pregnant, that may have been the motive in addition to his girlfriend. He wanted outright. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I definitely think the direct connection between him having a girlfriend and his wife being pregnant poses a giant problem, right? Right. I bet his wife was tired of listening to him bitch about his shit. Simon Cowell said to him, and he went and how he didn't win American Idol. Oh, you're such a loser, buddy.
in effect means he doesn't have to split the assets. He doesn't have to worry about custody. He doesn't have to worry about a lot of things. So he's problem solving in the fantasy. But another side people don't think about is that he also becomes this victim of the crime. So he gets the community rallying around him. He gets the community saying how horrible they feel for him losing his wife in such a tragic way. And so as
Oh, it was definitely planned, Patricia. And you want to know why? Because they have the text messages going to the girlfriend that morning, telling her it's almost done. And lots and lots of texts right around the time that he took his wife's life. So it was absolutely planned. He just did a terrible job, and he's a terrible actor. So yeah, no, it's not. That was absolutely, guys. I'm gonna have to tell you, this was not I snapped moment at all. All right. According to the text messages, he was planning it out, and he told his girlfriend it's almost done. That means the girlfriend exactly. So that's what I'm telling you guys. It's almost done hours before he killed her.
they're consumed with the fantasy, they forget the component parts that become so critical. Can all of the other evidence outside of your testimony of what happened, does all the other evidence back it up? And that's where these cases really start to fall apart.
When you look at, we know that there was a sign of forced entry, and who knows, the police on Monday, I think they take the approach of, okay, let's listen to this husband, and oh, it's a burglary gone bad. And then they start really digging into the investigation. Like even with something like that, the signs of forced entry, how do you take what you're looking at on the ground, but then apply it to the story that's being told by this husband about what happened to figure out whether or not it's true?
Yeah, I think you have to look at the case in totality, and maybe the chief made those comments early on that it's a burglary gone wrong because that was an easy way for them to continue to work the investigation. And I have to hope that that's part of what he's doing, because he also makes a comment that I thought was really important. He says, we don't believe this is a threat to the community. We believe this was contained.
Again, guys, just remember those words when you're watching any investigation and you've got law enforcement telling you, don't worry, it's a targeted attack. You guys there's no threat to you. Just read between the lines on what they're actually saying. Maybe he meant he told her she was leaving. Maybe. You're right, Patricia, maybe. But I'm going to have to say more than likely he was planning it. A lot of people feel that way, Tanya. A lot of people feel that way.
Which is telling you that they've got a focus that's taking them somewhere else, but they don't want to alert anyone either, because they may want to be doing some other forensic examination or tracking someone, seeing what they're doing. But as you look at it in totality and you take those things like the map we looked at, the
It was
egress
true.
access, the cameras, the lack of evidence to support the idea that it's just an intruder coming in.
Now, listen, the text messages are true. And what he said in the text message hours before is true. It's just the girlfriend part of it and how long and to what level they were that's not incorporated into this and alleged. But yes, that did happen, and he could have meant it anyway. Yeah, you're right. If he meant it was he was leaving and then his wife comes up dead, he can't fake that, right? Like, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, what was he saying?
Then you start looking at the inside of that house and the garage, that door, and we could see them later in some imagery on some news reels that I saw of law enforcement cutting that door jamb out. So I assume it's going to be evidence where they're going to show how that door was broken into. Was it pried? Was it kicked in?
He probably did it from the inside.
The thing that we're learning is that inside that garage, there was a freezer backed up against that door. So not only would that door have to have been kicked in, but then that door would have had to be pushed open enough to push that freezer out of the way to gain access. And then miraculously, he left his weapon in the vehicle. And that weapon is the same weapon that's used to kill this individual. So
there you go, guys. Done. Case solved. But seriously, though, did you hear what just happened? He literally said, "Oh, I'm in the kid's bedroom. My wife was shot. They came in. There was a burglary gone wrong. Oh, but my gun is a 9mm too, and that's conveniently out in the car. I didn't have that." But this guy's got to be the biggest idiot ever that doesn't know that those gunshot, the bullets and the ballistics are going to match his gun. What is wrong with these people? They're a bunch of little princes who need mommy or wife's help for everything. Like, what? Bro.
Not only does this predator come in, but they happen to rumble through the vehicle. They happen to find the weapon. They
right?
happen to use that weapon, sneak upstairs into the bedroom, and shoot Ashley twice in the head. That's very focused. That is very personal. That has nothing to do with a burglary.
Yeah, nope. and it's one of those, like, when you see a case.
He also didn't indicate about anything a burglary on the 911 call. He didn't say there was these guys were trying to break in. We heard the noise. We didn't know. He said nothing about that. He only gave little brief snippets of or what happened when it happened. Nothing told them what was happening because simply he just didn't, either froze up and whatever he prepared went wrong.
Like this. And this is not, I would say, common, but we've seen examples of it. And you have a suspect in the interrogation room and somebody who doesn't have a criminal history. So he's probably never been in this situation before.
Yep.
And he's explaining his story. How do you take what you're picking up from the scene and then get them almost cornered in a situation where you're able to peel back the onion of the story and actually get to the truth?
Yeah, I mean, you start with the interview process and you start asking questions and you allow the individual to provide an interview response, maybe admissions, not confessions, because we know there were no confessions early on. Whether they have those now or not, we don't know for sure. But you allow those admissions to start coming through.
Yes.
And then you start allowing that conversation to also be challenged and impeached.
So what he's trying to relay to law enforcement is that he left his 9mm out in his car, and that person that broke into the house broke into his car, got the 9mm, and then shot the wife. They had 2 spent shell casings, Sherry, and 2 bullets in her head that are going to match that gun, because he's the one that told them that was the gun that the person used, and they must have got it out of the truck. All right. So he's a bad actor, a bad liar, a bad planner, etc. And that's the best thing you could do, is just laugh about that, because that's the biggest, dumbest move ever. All right. That's like taking someone's life with a specific knife that has these certain, serrated knife with this like a fingerprint. And then you say, well, I was eating apples in the car with it. That came from outside. I had left it in the car. And those serrated blades match exactly. And the depth is exactly. I mean, you just can't fake that. Yes, Chief Rocca, he's a special kind of stupid.
By things like that you might find by searching the deep and dark web on activity that they might have, what they're doing in social media, where their phone is placing them, are their relationships being built out? And there are so many things we don't know about this case, but there's a motivator for this thing, whether it's to just get away and have all the property, or there's some secret relationship on the side that we don't know about. And all of that, I'm sure, will come out. But this is where the real information starts to come together and either corroborate or exclude, and then be used as a way to impeach their testimony.
When you look at cases like this, and there have been some very high profile cases of husbands, or wives, but, significant others doing something like this, and you just sit here and it's just this question of like, how does it get to this point? How does somebody who, in this case too, I always try to not rush to judgment on these because we don't know, but like you looked at the comments and the amount of people saying that the husband did it, and, because we have.
And in this episode, they hadn't even put together all the charging documents yet, the text messages between the two, and all of those things. All right. So you said, I bet she was done and she was about to bust him. And I think so. I think it came to that point where he needed to do that. Now there was 111 and then it jumped to 118. So say a prayer that the children and Ashley get the justice that she deserves and they deserve. Now, this monster of a man, Caleb, if he did snap, he would absolutely be better off just saying, you know what, I snapped. We were arguing. I didn't want I wasn't happy about the pregnancy. I was cheating on her. We were going to split up and I snapped. He would be so much better off if he just said that instead of this big elaborate nonsense plan that he is going through with. Just saying. Again, innocent until proven guilty. And this is just in my opinion.
I've seen this profile of case before, but then, this community was like, there is just no way. Like, how common have you seen these that someone can be, accused of something so awful, but then at the same time, publicly facing, you would never guess that they would have had the gene in their body to do something like this.
Yeah, you're hitting it right on the head of the nail, because in profiling, what you do is you look at 3 personas that we all have. One is that public persona, leading the church choir, being the great guy in the neighborhood who's waving at everybody, the guy who brings chicken soup to the neighbor when they're sick.
Yep.
This is this public persona. It's the same thing as the persona you and I put on when we're doing your show. We're trying to put our best foot forward to say, here's where we are. This is the way I like to be projected. But then we all have a private side too. And it's the place that maybe just our closest associates, our best friend or our spouse get to see when they get to see the warts that we have. And it's the place where they might see us react negatively or in a way that's kind of ugly.
It was Ashley Flynn celebration of life, February 22nd. They had to postpone that for some reason. I think she threatened to expose him. Maybe. Yeah, just say a prayer for Ashley Flynn. Her family and her children have to be going through it right now. All right, we're getting close to the end of this. I can't believe we've been here almost 3 hours again. Well, I don't know where the time's going. Angie, good to see you. Glad you came in. Man, may she rest in peace and get the justice she deserves.
And we all have that. And then you have the secret side. And as my mentor used to say, the Tasmanian devil who lives down in the deepest remote parts of our mind. that's saying, this is what I'm going to do. And by golly, I'm going to get away with it.
And it is chilling to think of. I mean, the thought process that someone who seems so perfect could have, like even the thought process of doing this, the planning of it, and then following through with it. And we'll learn more information as this case goes on, but it's just, for as common as sometimes these cases can be, like, it is always shocking and never something that feels normal when you see it. And we'll hear his side of the story. We'll see the evidence, as it's being brought forward.
And guys, he's going to be back in court next month. So I want you guys to understand that, again, anybody and everybody in this chat could absolutely be correct about some of this, all of this, none of this. We're going to see when he takes it to court. We're going to see what his defense attorney is going to say as a defense. Remember, the burden of proof is on law enforcement. All law enforcement has to do is have a couple of ballistics that match his gun and, a camera that shows nobody broke into the house and maybe he broke in from the inside. That's the biggest mistake dumb criminals will make. All right. They'll pretend like they're breaking in, but they do it from the wrong side. They go on the inside of the house and they punch the glass instead of going out and punching it in. Just dumb mistakes like that. And so the validity of somebody saying maybe he just snapped. Yeah, he probably had been fantasizing about doing it. And then at the point fantasizing so much, maybe he snapped in that moment of, telling his girlfriend it's almost done, because the only way you could think of the way he pulled this off is that somebody snapped. Because had you planned this, I think even a child, a small 4 or 5-year-old could plan better than this. So justice for the family, and we'll keep this, we'll keep you guys updated when there are bigger updates in the case. Premeditated, absolutely. And we need justice for Ashley and the children. All right. So I think we did a who did what and what's going on today. Liz says, I do think the mistress threatened to tell the wife, or maybe he got her pregnant and his wife was, well, somebody was pregnant, and we know who was married, and they were doing it out kind of in the open, and it was going to come to a head. So that's that. All right. I didn't forget anything. Has she been arrested? If they know the girlfriend is, no, she's not been arrested. They have not brought her name into the case. There's speculation about her. There's text messages, lots of them, but we don't know if that's going to equal to anything. All right, guys, we're at that about to hit the 3-hour mark. Great to see you all. Happy. What day are we on? Did we make it to Wednesday? All right, guys, remember, if you don't get my notifications, we will be back at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget, guys, don't forget to go and sign up for Ghost. It's free, right? It's free to sign up for. And if you want to, you can donate to Guilty of Crime and get more exclusive content. But on our Ghost platform, it's ghost.org, Guilty of Crime. Let me just drop the link here. Guilty of Crime, Ghost. It's easier to find that way. Yeah, there's a new post that just came up, and we post almost every day, and it's not the same cases that we're covering. So right now, this is a Ghost platform, was just posted today, February 25th, about a 12-year-old who took her own life. And obviously it could have been prevented. See something, say something. So if you go sign up for that, you can take a look at what happened to this little girl, gone way too soon. This is in Huntsville, Alabama. And the family of 12-year-old Lindsay Mae Swan, a student at Mountain Gap Middle School, is speaking out after her death by, we don't use that word, unaliving herself, hoping her story will encourage other families to recognize the warning signs and start these difficult conversations with your children that this too shall pass. All right. They're not doomed by a post or something that they did. Children make mistakes and children bully, but nothing is as serious as to end your own life. And you only get one of them. Yes. Every time I see these cases, I keep seeing these 12 and 13-year-olds, boys and girls, taking their own lives because of something that was put out on social media or something that happened at school that doesn't need to happen. It's not the end of the world. In a week, people will forget all about it and be doing something else. So please step up, educate your children, and have open communications with them, you guys, because they need us. Our children need us to tell them that it's okay. It's going to be okay. We'll get past it. We'll get through it, and it will be over. All right. We didn't grow up like that. We didn't grow up with social media. We grew up with flapping and people talking on the phone, but you weren't going to show up at school the next day with a compromising picture of you on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat. It's so much different. Her last words broke me. Well, go and check it out. Go to ghost.org and check out what her last words were. I'll see you guys later. Peace out, Mab, and everybody else. Thank you guys for everything and everybody that supported the channel. Thank you, Smokin', for that membership. Go ahead and drop your link. Mwah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye. Oh, no. Martin Short's daughter just ended herself, too. All right. Yeah, I've had enough for today. Go sign up. Love you. See y'all tomorrow. Peace out, guys.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?